Hare Krishna. Okay, welcome everyone. Today is the last class of this year, so everyone is happy. So we'll continue this class and try to finish the third chapter today as much as possible. Let's do a quick revision. This is what we discussed last week. So let's go to my HG guide first. Okay, so this chapter 3 we are continuing. We are in the second last section of Karma Yoga, for performing prescribed work in detachment to set example. And the last section is beware of the lust and anger, which is very, very important for all the sadhakas. Let's do a quick revision. Last week we only covered few verses. So 330, one of the very, very important verses of Bhagavad Gita. Who would like to revise it? Anand Krishna Prabhu, you're on the top of the screen. Prabhu, you're on mute.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mai sarvani karmani sannyas yadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmano bhutva yudhyasva vigata nara. Therefore, O Arjuna, surrendering all your works unto me with full knowledge to me, without desires for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy, fight. So this is an instruction from Krishna to Arjuna. Krishna is saying that with all sorts of activities, even in the mood of sannyasa, giving up completely full knowledge, with full knowledge of self and self-consciousness, and without desire for any profit, which is nirashi, and nirmama, without ownership. Bhutva means so being, yudhyasya, fight, vigata, jvara, without being lethargic. So Arjuna is being warned that from all the excuses he has given previously, that is, first of all, it is from the mode of ignorance, and it can also, that ignorance can also be lethargy, isn't it? Like
Yes, Prabhuji.
being lazy. So Krishna is just giving that thing to Arjuna, or explaining to Arjuna that you have to be more determined about your duty as both as a Krishna conscious person, as well as coming from the Karma Kanda point of view, that he is a Kshatriya. So he has to, on both sense, he has to get his mind clear and start about his karma, then start to do what he's supposed to do.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. I'll just add few points if that's okay. So Vigat Jaraha represents, as Prabhuji was saying, mode of ignorance. So we have to perform our duty, which for Arjuna obviously is the fight, but it can be anything for all of us. So Vigat Jaraha, so come out of mode of ignorance. Nirashir Nirmama represents which mode of nature? Someone else can say?
Mode of passion.
Thank you, Mataji. So Nirashir refers to Na Shi, Ashi. So Ashi refers to profit, Na Ashi. So we should not have any sort of expectation of profit from others. And Nirmamo. What does Nirmamo mean? Nirmama. Two words are there. Not mama, not mine. So it's not
ownership.
So without the possessive mentality or ownership or controllership mentality. So that is mode of passion. So come out of ignorance as well as passion. Now, Adhyatma Chetasa, what does this mean? Anyone else? It's very simple. Chetasa, consciousness, Adhyatma is spiritual consciousness. What other thing this represents?
That we are not this body, probably.
Okay.
We need to do our duty in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, so that is first one. So my sarvani karmani sanyasya. That is correct, Prabhu. So we have to offer all our activities to Krishna. So that is correct. So sarvani karmani, all the karmani, sanyasya, offer it to me. Adhyatma chetasa, that's what I'm discussing.
In the spiritual consciousness
consciousness we have to offer that results.
Okay.
Mode of
In this
goodness.
mode of goodness, thank you, Kajal Mataji. Mode of goodness. So we have to come out of mode of goodness, mode of passion, as well as mode of ignorance. Now, in spiritual also, there can be two categories. Anyone remembers what are the two categories within spiritual?
Devotional mode.
Thank you.
And
Who said that? I heard the word devotional. It's
yeah,
very Lakshmi Mata. Thank you, Mataji. What
yeah.
else? So spiritual can be spiritual or devotional. Every spiritual doesn't have to be devotional. Any examples? Every spiritual doesn't have to be devotional. Example.
Like Mayavadis, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mata. So Mayavadi is also doing spiritual activities. They also consider they are not the body, they are the soul. They consider that. But are they devotional? Are they trying to serve Krishna in devotional mood? No, they're trying to merge into Krishna. They're trying to bypass Krishna. They're trying to bypass other Gopinath. So that is not devotional. That is spiritual. Agree with that. That's not devotional. And what are we practicing at? Devotional level, not only spiritual, definitely spiritual, but we are practicing on a devotional platform. So this is much, much higher. So Krishna is saying, Mai Sarvani Karmani. Now, what does Sarvani mean? It's easy, but also little complex. Amrit Prabhu, Sarvani.
Everything.
Now,
The
what do you refer by everything? So you offer everything to Krishna,
yeah,
including, huh?
every act that we do, like Sarvani means Sarva.
Suppose
Sarva
we are
means
beating someone, we are lying, we are calling some bad names.
no, we said we have to do it in spiritual consciousness.
We have to do is so Sarvani Karmani does not refer to anything and everything because it has to be offerable to Krishna. Like when we say offer everything to Krishna, this line says everything to Krishna. If someone asks, can we offer meat to Krishna? Can we offer alcohol to Krishna? Like that, huh? Just everything includes only offerable things, what we can offer to Krishna. Here, Sarvani refers to what we can offer to Krishna, not all the negative activities which we also do, at least in this transition phase, right? We are talking. So Sarvani here refers to activities has to be eventually come out of all the modes, including mode of goodness. And they have to be adhyatma chetasa, spiritually inclined activities. So Sarvani word has to be understood properly. Only offerable things. Okay, 31. Who can do 31? Shabit Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes,
Hare
I
Krishna.
can try.
Yeah. Just a translation, Prabhuji, and some good
Those
points.
persons who execute their duties according to my injunctions and who follow this teaching faithfully without envy become free from the bondage of fruitive actions. Should I read the purport as well, Prabhuji?
No. Yeah, just a revision, Prabhuji. So set up some context if you know, and some meaning, some words here. So what is the context? What's the relationship between 31 and 30, for example?
So, Prabhu, so 30 actually explains about how if we actually do the adhyatma of Krishna and consecutively we try to do all the duties, and in 31 it continues with the adhyatma, and we are trying to offer all our services to Krishna, and we are trying to not relate ourselves to the material world and trying to move away from the ownership. Then in 31 it explains if we are executing all these duties as per the instructions provided by Krishna.
Yeah, that's right, Prabhu. So this is what happens. So
then it refers back to 30. Then
yeah, so,
we might be able to
so
free
31, Prabhu.
ourselves from the bondage of ownership and proprietorship, what we understand. And that's
Thank you,
what
Prabhuji.
happens.
So 31 is the result of following 30. So if you follow 30 instructions, 31 will happen. What is the result of 31? In 31, what is saying? If you have to say like in one word or one line, Sanskrit or English, whatever, what will be the result of following 30? Muchante tepi karma bhihi.
Free from bondage of
Free from the bondage. So if you, or other way you can say, if you want to be free from bondage, what you have to do? Go back to 30. Follow 30. Ye me matam idam nityam anutishtanti. Anutishtanti means they are situated as per what I have just explained. So if you're situated in that, what will the result? Shraddhavanto nusuyanto. What are the two qualities given? Aditya Prabhu, what are the two qualities given in third line? It's on the screen. Shraddhavanto nusuyanto. Sorry, Prabhu, I can't hear you. You're saying something, but
No,
yes, I can hear.
just from inferring, Prabhu, I'm thinking so Shraddhavanto, Shraddha is in there, so that means faith.
Faith in what?
Faith in
30. Faith in 30.
in
But 30
3.30.
also generically Krishna's instruction. So here it refers 30, but if you have faith in Krishna's instruction, first quality. So I have to have faith. Second quality,
Anushu
it is asuyanto.
Asuyanto is
Or okay, anasuyantaha. Okay, anasuyantaha. You can read the whole thing, yeah.
Anusuyanta. Okay,
So
so is that
suya,
not
suya
envy?
refers to envy. Asuya, anasuya refers to no envy. So if you have Shraddha plus no envy. So two qualifications are needed. If you follow the instructions of Krishna with Shraddha without any envy, what will be the result? Muchante tepi karmivihi. Muchante tepi. So you will come out of the bondage. If you're not able to do that, what will be the next one? Aditya Prabhu, you want to continue 32?
Yes, okay, Prabhu. Yetva etad
You can just read
abhya.
the translation, Prabhu.
Okay. But those who out of envy disregard these teachings and do not follow them regularly are to be considered bereft of all knowledge, befooled and ruined in their endeavors for perfection.
So you want to cover up some points, Prabhu?
So, Prabhu, I wasn't here last week, but I can
Okay.
try.
No worries. If you're not there, then maybe someone else. Next to Aditya Prabhu is Sunita Mata. Okay. Just disappeared. Acharya Nishta Prabhu, if you'd like to try.
Yes, Prabhuji. So if you don't follow it, so it says it's all ruined. So whatever you have tried to achieve it with the spiritual path is basically it has zero value if it has no faith or it has envy in it.
Yep. So what's the word for envy here, Prabhu? It's on the screen. I already
Okay.
highlighted.
Abhyashuyanto.
Abhyasuyanto. So anasuya and abhyasuya, you can say they are opposite to each other. So suya is the mool word, the root word, and then you can say abhyasuyanta. You can read Prabhupada, out of envy. Na anutishtanti. Previous verse says anutishtanti manavaha. Here is saying na anutishtanti. Right? You're not sitting on those principles. You're not following those principles. Why? Because you have abhyasuyaha. You have some envy in your heart. So what will happen to those people? Sarva Gyan Vimudastan. Sarva Gyan. All the Gyan is what? Is foolishly wasted. Viddinastan Achetasaha. So Chetasa refers to spiritually inclined consciousness. Achetasa refers to without Krishna consciousness. So their Chetasa, their Chitta, their consciousness is not spiritually inclined. Why? Because they have some Suya. Any one of us sitting here has some Suya? Not soya, soya. Soya everyone would have in their fridges. Soya, anyone has soya? Everyone else doesn't have any soya? Okay, some are raising two hands. Prabhupada said, we are here because we are envious of Krishna. So we all have it. This is the one thing which is separating us from Krishna. So we definitely have it. So what we should do, move from this abhyasuya to anusuya, from envy to no envy. And there's a whole journey of Bhagavad Gita. By knowing Krishna, our envy slowly, ideally should decrease, and our love for Krishna should increase. Okay. 33, this very, very famous verse. Who wants to do this? Anyone?
I can try, Prabhu.
Please, Prabhu.
Even a man of knowledge acts according to his own nature, for everyone follows the nature he has acquired from the three modes. What can represent accomplish? So here, if I remember correctly, last week we focused on the word Nigraham Kim Karishyati, which actually mostly Mayavadi actually just refers to why to suppress the feelings, just get whatever the feelings we have, do it kind of thing. We stress that yes, those feelings should be to us the path of Krishna, yes. But that feeling is for the sense gratification or something, for our own. That is the path of deterioration. That's what we understand, I believe.
Okay, what are the two words we used last week?
Nigraha and Nigraha.
Nigraha is suppression, but before the Nigraha. So the main word, if you see here in this verse, one word is repeated twice. What is this?
This one, Sarvasya.
No.
Prakriti.
And the
Prakriti. Prakriti is
Prakriti
repeated
and
twice.
Vritti.
Okay, so Prakriti and Vritti will come to that. So Prakriti is repeated twice here. So let's look at this verse again. Sadrasam chesta se, chesta karna, endeavoring. Huh? So someone is Swasya Prakrtir. Swasya Prakrtir. What does this refer to? Swasya Prakriti, apni Prakriti,
Own
your
nature.
own Prakriti, own nature. What does this own nature refer to? Sanskrit word. Their own consciousness. Okay, more. Yes, that is correct. I want more explanation. Acharya Nishta Prabhu. Or
Bhava.
anyone. Huh? Swabhav. Yes, what does Swabhav mean? Yes, Swabhav is correct. Prakriti means Swabhav. Yes, their own Swabhav. What does Swabhav mean?
Going towards Krishna.
Specific word. Huh?
Vritti.
Vritti. Thank you. So Swabhava refers to Vritti. And what does Vritti refers to, Keshav Prabhu? If you tell a layman Vritti, he say, what do you mean Vritti?
Nature or
Nature, more psychophysical nature.
Yeah, psychophysical nature. Yes.
Psychophysical nature by which the conditioned soul is covered. The first one. How many psychophysical natures you can have? Supriya Mata.
Three modes of.
No. My question is, how many psychophysical natures you can have? Priya Mata.
4. Kshatriya, Vaishnava and Shudra and Brahma.
Vaishnava, Kshatriya, Vaishnava.
Yeah, 4.
4. Unlimited, Sanjay Vyas is saying. How many psychophysical natures we can have? Anyone else? Anju Mata.
84 lakh.
84 lakh, okay. Baseline, just baseline. They're all varieties.
Sannyas ashram, grahast.
Okay, you're close but not there.
8.
8. Where does 8 come from? Acha, I understand, Acharya Prabhu, you are saying it. I recognize your voice. Let him finish the 8.
Serving Krishna and 4 Varnas.
Serving Krishna. Okay, let's Acharya explain the 8. Sorry, I'm interested.
Prabhuji, they are Varnas and Ashrams, right?
Arey baap, kuch bhi laga do. Nahi. Okay, so Rajesh
3 by 3
Supriya
matrix
Mataji clearly said 3.
No, 3 by 3 ka matrix, like
3 by 3. Nahi. It's 4. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. They are the baseline. Now there are varieties within that as well, based on the modes of material nature. So you can be the Brahmanical nature, you can be Vaishya nature, or a Kshatriya nature, or a Shudra nature. Society is divided in 4 Varnas, and within each Varna can be an ashram. A Brahman can be a Brahmachari, a Grahastha, Vanaprastha, or a Sannyasi. Now, Kshatriyas can also do it, very rare. But Vaishyas, again, the degrees goes, it's possibility. Possibilities are there. Right? So, psychophysical nature, Swasya Prakriti here refers to your psychophysical nature, which is again not the nature of the soul. This is not the nature of soul. Soul is already conditioned. This, you can say, like the first covering of the soul. Every soul is born with that Prakriti. Now, when we're talking about Nigraha Kim Karashyati, what sort of Prakriti we are talking? So, Vritti, someone said Vritti, Keshav Prabhuji said Vritti, that is fine. Now what we are talking, Nigraha Kim Karashyati. So are we saying don't do any Nigraha? Whatever you feel, do it. Will that be good, Aditya Prabhu? Whatever you feel like, do it. You feel like taking alcohol, drugs, whatever, do it. What's the problem? You feel like jumping from the 10-story building, jump it. Nigraha Kim Karashyati.
We discussed like we should not suppress our vritti, but rather use that in the service of Krishna with our all senses.
Yeah, so what should be suppressed? That's my question. This verse is saying Nigra Kim Karishyati. So we have to understand it.
The last should be suppressed. The last.
What's the Sanskrit word, Prabhu? Who remembers the Sanskrit word we discussed last week? Vritti is correct. Second is Vasana.
Vasana.
Vritti and Vasana. So Vasana is another layer on your... A Brahman can be lusty. Is it possible? A sannyasi can be lusty, grahastha can be lusty, kshatriya can be anyone. So first you start with chatur varnyam, char varnas, and then within each varna can be different ashramas. Any varna situated in any ashrama can have vasana. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Yes.
Yes.
Possible, right? Brahman situated in sannyas ashram can be a lusty. Possible. In grahastha ashram, kshatriya in grahastha ashram can be lusty. Shudra in grahastha ashram can be lusty, right? So lust can cover anyone and everyone basically. So what we are talking here, nigra kim karishyati, do not suppress your vritti. Vritti means your brahmanical nature or your kshatriya nature, and whom we are speaking with? Arjuna here. So Krishna is telling to Arjuna, nigra kim, even if you suppress your Kshatriya nature and trying to become Brahmana, it won't work for you. It won't work for you. But it's not talking about uncontrolled fulfilling your vasanas, your lusty desires. That's not what is talked about. That is talked in the next verse, which is 334. So let's look at the 334, and Krishna will clear this doubt in this verse, 334. So who would like to read?
Indriya.
Okay, go for it, Shabbat Prabhu.
Oh, I thought I was just reading to myself. Right?
No, you're reading to everyone.
Okay, I can try. Indriya se arthe raga dveshu vyavintau
Vyavasthitau. You read in Hindi. Vyavasthitau.
Vyavasthito, yes, I should read in Hindi actually.
Yes.
Vyavasthito Trayani Vash Magchetam.
Okay, it's not so. Tayor, you can read here sometime. Na.
Tayor na Vasham.
Na Vasham. It's very simple, Prabhu.
Agachet.
Tayor na Vasham agachet. Yes.
Tau hi asya paripantito panthino. Panthino.
Path. Path. Actually, path words comes from Sanskrit path.
Yes.
It's very easy. Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Translation.
These are principles to regulate attachment and aversion pertaining to the senses and their objects. One should not come under the control of such attachments and aversion because they are stumbling blocks on the path of self-realization.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So now Krishna is saying indriyas. What does indriyas mean? Difficult word?
Senses.
Our senses.
Thank you. Indriyas arthe. So if I have to count from here, indriyas arthe. You can read Prabhupada translation.
Sense object.
Sense objects. So there's indriya and sense objects. Acharya Sapru, can you give example of indriya and indriyas arthe? Can you convert it into a layman language?
Taste and gulab jamun.
Taste and gulab jamun, okay. Or a tongue or gulab jamun, you can also say, right? Tongue is feeling, okay, Gyanindriya, Karmindriya, they are mixed here. So there's an indriya, as Acharya Prabhuji said, a tongue indriya, right? It's an indriya. And when we see gulab jamun, your mouth starts watering. Very nice gulab jamun. The only question is there is bhoga or prasad. If it is prasad, go for it. So indriyas arthe. Now in between senses and sense objects, say tongue and gulab jamun. Let's read the second line in Acharya Prabhu's example. Rag dvesho vyavasthitao. Raga refers to, who can say? Simple word? Everyone should know raga. Attachment. Dvesha?
Attachment.
Duality.
Not detachment. Hatred. Hatred, right? Rag and dvesha, they are opposite. So raga is attachment and dvesha is hatred. So vyavasthito, they are situated. So between indriya, senses, tongue, and indriya sarthe, gulab jamun, what is situated? Two things are situated. Can be situated, raga or dvesha. So Acharya Prabhu may like rasgulla or gulab jamun, or may hate gulab jamun. I don't think so anyone hates gulab jamun, but just in case, right? So it can be either raga or dvesha. Is it okay so far? Everyone understands that? So between tongue, or you can say there can be raga or dvesha. By seeing gulab jamun, I may get distracted. No. I don't like this. For example, Or I can have raga, wow, so nice, let me go and have it, right? So raga or dvesha, is it okay? In every object, you will see either a raga or dvesha. That's what happened to conditioned soul. When we see something, we either get attracted or get distracted. As devotee seeing alcohol bottle, for example, we're like dvesha. No, I don't want to see that. Now, Krishna is saying, Tayor na vasham agachet. उनके वश में नहीं आना है आपको, हाँ? ना वशम. Vasham, everyone understand? Vash means to control. Na vasham, don't come under their control. Which is control? We are saying raga or dvesha. So whatever raga and dvesha is coming in your heart, do not come under control. Why? Tau hi asya paripanthinao. So pantha refers to marg, rasta. Pari refers to thief. They are the dokais of the spiritually elevated marg. So if you are following a spiritually elevated marg, if you are going on that spiritually path, then if you see some raga and dvesha, which has come by you seeing some object, just one example, and you can be seeing, you can be hearing, you can be tasting or touching anything, right? You are feeling a feeling of raga or dvesha. Krishna is saying, do not come under their control, because if you come under their control, what will happen? They will steal your consciousness away. Now, this refers to vritti or vasana. Aditya Prabhu.
Prabhu, sorry, I'm a bit confused. I don't know actually.
Okay, vritti refers to your psychophysical nature, which is you can be the Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra by birth, for example. It can be changed as well. Generally speaking, it doesn't change. So by birth, you may be a very Brahmanical boy, you can be a Kshatriya boy, for example. Just Lord Ramachandra, for example, in that appearance, in that incarnation, he is a Kshatriya. Now in Parashurama's incarnation, he is born as a Brahman but acting as Parashuram is acting as Kshatriya. Vishwamitra, before becoming Vishwamitra, he is King Kaushik. He is a Kshatriya. After he accepted Brahmanical attitude, Vishwamitra, he became Vishwamitra. Now he is acting as Brahman. So it's a psychophysical nature. Everyone carries. Everyone carries. So generally it's stable, but sometimes it's changed. Like we take the example of Parashuramji and Vishwamitra Muni. So they change. So there's a vritti. We are not supposed to repress our vritti. If someone is a Brahmanical nature, let him develop in that field. He is good into Shastra, he is good into finding verses and giving explanations, and he is good in Shastra. If you give him a Vaishya job, will he be happy, Amrit Prabhu? You say, oh, go and earn money, go in fundraising, for example, Amrit Prabhu. If you are like a Brahmanical nature, which I think you are, if someone sends you in the fundraising, will you be happy? No. No, sometimes we have to do it, sometimes for Krishna, and that's fine. But you'll not be liking activity. But someone gives you Shastra, like, wow. And if you give Shastra to a Vaishya, will he be happy, Aditya Prabhu?
No.
If a Vaishya is earning money is his goal, that's what he's good at, for example. Even if he's earning for Krishna, there's nothing wrong with that. He's earning for Krishna, very good. But you give him a book, he says, kya rakha hai book mein? You say, can you find a verse in Bhagavad Gita? What is there? All verses are same only. He will not be interested. Earn money, making some building, doing some here and there, some management. He will be interested in that. Kshatriya is like, managing, changing, infrastructure, this, that. They're not interested so much in Shastra. So, if you are of a particular kind, be that particular kind. Don't try to repress and try to move to something else. But when it's talking about vasana, raga and dvesha, vasana means enjoying something in separation to Krishna. If you're enjoying with Krishna, that's bhakti. What's that verse? Atmindriya priti vancha dhare kam nam. Atmindriya priti, like I want to satisfy my own senses. That is called kam or lust. Can be small or big, doesn't matter. But Krishna Indriya Priti Vancha Dhare Prema Nam. If you want to satisfy the senses of Krishna, that is known as Prema. So are we supposed to do Kama or Prema? It's quite clear.
Prema.
Prema. So we are supposed to satisfy Krishna's senses, not our senses. And when we try to satisfy Krishna's senses, our senses automatically get satisfied and pleased in full sense. So coming back to this verse, this Raga and Vesha are considered as thief. And what they will steal? Hari Gopal Prabhu, what they're going to steal? What the object of stealing? Not your money, something else. Consciousness, thank you. I heard that, although you were mute. So they will steal your consciousness. So if you are trying to go towards spirituality and you come under the control of raga and dvesha, they will steal away your consciousness. And how it will happen? Because they are situated in between senses, say eyes or tongue, and the sense object. So what we are trying to do, we are going to deal with it, and Krishna will tell how to deal with it little later. Yes, Sanjay Vyas Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much for that wonderful explanation. Prabhu, I wanted to ask something. In the purport, I'm reading this line, but attachment to Krishna consciousness or acting always in the loving service of Krishna detaches one from all kinds of sensory activities. So I wanted to ask, yeah, but attachment to Krishna consciousness, the fourth last line.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I was going to ask Prabhu, if I'm trying to perform service, in my mind, I'm trying my best to perform loving service. Sorry, when I'm trying to perform service, in my mind, I'm trying my best to perform loving service. So at least in that moment, I'm trying my best. So if I'm still not detached from sensory activities, is it because I am in illusion? Sorry, there are two parts to this. Is it I'm in illusion that I'm performing loving service, or is it that I have to perform it continuously at all times, and just that momentary service is not sufficient?
Okay, thank you, bro. I'll try to respond that. It's a little bit detailed question. So, Prabhu, you said that you are trying your best, but your best, sorry to say, may not be the best. You can agree with that, right?
Yeah.
A child is trying his best. He got 8 marks out of 10, for example.
Yeah.
But that 8 may not be the best, right? It's best for that child. It may not be the best in the class. Someone else will get 10 out of 10. So Prabhu, when you're trying at your best, which is fine, I'm saying, but that may not be the best attempt. So initially you're trying something, but your mind is still going here and there. Second thing is, Prabhuji, you are judging yourself, right? That I am not feeling the satisfaction. And Krishna consciousness is like, don't judge yourself or to others. So you don't judge the results in that moment. Suppose, Prabhuji, you work today, for example, you don't get paid today. Generally speaking, you get paid after a week or a fortnight. So today you're working hard for your company. 2 weeks you work, and maybe in a fortnight or something like that, you'll get paid. So even when you're working for Krishna, you don't get paid immediately. At least in our consciousness, I'm talking, you get paid immediately in Krishna's register. In our consciousness, the result does not seem to come immediately. But as you said correctly, Prabhuji, the second point, you keep serving Krishna for a long time, then your mind gets purified, and then your efforts also become better. And then in your mind, you feel a sukha. So sukham kartam abhyam. This is what happens when your mind is purified. When your mind is not purified, while you're cutting vegetables, you're still thinking, India-Pakistan ka match aa raha hai. And I have to go out and see that match. Prabhu, kya score hua hai? Something like that. Although you are serving Krishna, but your mind is still out there somewhere. So your senses are engaged, mind is still not engaged, or mind is judging, is saying, Chaitanya Chandra was saying in one of the classes, in Krishna's service, mind generally, conditioned mind I'm talking, whatever you are doing will be unsatisfied with that and will try to jump to another activity. If you are reading, it will say, why are you not chanting? If you are chanting, it will say, why are you not reading? If you are cutting veggies, it will say, why are you not doing something else? It's always going here and there. So we should not judge from our own mind with other activities. Just follow the seniors, engage your senses at your best, whatever, 7 or 8, whatever your best is, and just move forward, Prabhu. All these conclusions which we can accept will come later. Just try to satisfy our Guru Maharaj or his instructions, and then everything else will be revealed later. Prabhupada said, when my Guru Maharaj said, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj said to him, whenever you have money, print books. He said, that time I did not understand his instruction much, but I followed the instruction. Later in his life, he realized how important it was to print the books and distribute the books. So in that moment, we may not be able to understand it, but that's fine. We don't have to understand. Guru Maharaj said something, try your best. That's one example comes to my mind, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. Aditya Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Just wondering, Prabhu, with the example of the gulab jamun, So it says like one should not come under control of such attachment and aversion.
Yep.
So like I shouldn't like it shouldn't be under control of attachment and shouldn't be also averse to it at the same time. How is that
Absolutely.
possible?
Yes, Prabhu. It's a very nice question, Prabhu. So many things happen to us in the world, and many times we get either raga or dvesha for them. Krishna will tell throughout the Bhagavad Gita, even dvesha is not good. Because whatever is happening is ultimately sanctioned by Krishna. Without his sanction, those activities, which we find it very abominable, which is right, does not happen. They're also happening for a cause. Some pilgrimages went to Uttarakhand, for example, a few years ago, and they died in a landslide. Was it good or bad? It was bad, actually. It was bad. But why did it happen? If we start analyzing it, and some people were blaming God, or they were going to take darshan of God, why did God do to them this and that? God only did it. That's his ultimate sanction. Now, what happened to them, why it happened, it's very hard to analyze those things. So either raga or dvesha, they can both be obstacle for a spiritual life. So we do our best and let Krishna do the whole management, because we are not Krishna. We are very, very small jivas. We can try, and we should try. We must try for the best for everyone as best as possible. But why something is happening, only Krishna knows. Why earthquake is coming, why Kali Yuga is like that, why these fights are going on between two nations, this and that. There's a lot more science there. So no raga and no dvesha. Sannyasi will not have even a raga to anyone. Even Krishna says, Samaham sarvbhuteshu name dveshasya name priya. So Krishna is sama, and eventually Krishna wants us to become sama as well, because we get entangled with raga or dvesha. I hate you. Dvesha means I hate you. Raga means I love you. Bharat Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam 5th canto, he got stuck with I love you, isn't it? He loved a baby deer, and because I love you, he fell down, actually, externally at least, right? He fell down with a baby deer. And someone may, I can't remember an example. We hate so many people, and we don't have to give Shastri examples, right? So we also get stuck because I hate this person. He comes from a certain community. There's a Bondi shooting a few days ago, just because one community hated another community. They didn't know in each other's name, but one community hated another community, and they're trying to shoot them. This community should not exist. Indra hated Brajavasis, for example. There's so many examples. So we get stuck either in I love you or I hate you. Eventually, we have to come out of both, and then we can go up spiritually. Okay? Is that okay?
Yes, Ram. Thank you.
Thank you. Shobit Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, I have a very simple question which I've been thinking about, for last couple of weeks. I mean, in Sydney, especially with the groups which we are involved, we are very fortunate to be able to serve devotees. And I remember you once telling in one of the classes, mostly the devotees are people, devotees who are on the path of Krishna consciousness. They are actually self reliant, and they don't need service, and we need to find an opportunity to serve them. Now, I mean, understanding this entire concept of uh, seva rasa, how we find rasa ends doing seva either for the devotees or inside a temple, or to anyone who is related to Krishna consciousness. Now, it feels like there is and you talked about raga and dvesha today. So raga and dvesha, it feels like there is an attachment happening to to serve either in the temple or the devotees.
Okay.
Now,
So
is it
yeah. So this raga and dvesha is talking about material objects, Prabhuji, not about spiritual objects. So spiritual objects, raga is very good. So spiritual objects. So usually what happens, Prabhuji, we are, generally speaking, we have raga towards material objects and dvesha towards spiritual objects. Generally speaking, not everyone. But it should be other way. We should have raga, attachment for spiritual things or spiritual beings or for devotees or for their seva. And dvesha, not exactly dvesha like unattached, detached from the material things. For example, when Nal Kuber and Manigriva, they saw Narad Muni coming towards them. And as we all know, they were having baths without any clothes with some ladies and drinking alcohol. They thought, what is this sadhu doing here, huh? Obstructing my enjoyment. Why is he coming on this way, huh? And they were not very happy with the Narad Muni's presence there. Huh? So this is called Dvesha, when we take ourselves away from devotee association. Now this devotee is Narad Muni. Is coming towards. What will Narad Muni give you? Narada. What does Narad mean? One who can give Narayan. Da means to give, Nar means Narayan. One who can give Narayan to you. He is coming towards you without any invitation. You should be so happy. But what Nalkuvar and Manigriva was thinking? What is this sadhu doing here? Get out from here. Isn't it just what generally our feelings are as well? I'm talking in a worldly mindset. Huh? When devotees come like, ये साधु कहाँ से आ गए? क्या भगवद गीता? कोई पिक्चर का गाना लगाओ. Huh? अमृत प्रभु, हाँ? कौन सा पिक्चर? Some Bollywood song, Hollywood song, something. Huh? What is this? Hare Krishna करते रहते हैं लोग. Generally, so we have raga towards those things, but raga, our raga should be directed towards Krishna. So what you're talking about, seva ras and all that, that raga is very good, Prabhuji. That raga will take you out of material entanglement. So that raga you should always increase, Prabhu. So we're not talking about raga and dasha for spiritual objects. We're talking about material objects. Is that okay?
But Prabhu, like in my mind, like, how it came through is like tomorrow, for some reason, like, somebody says you are banned from temple, you cannot enter. Like, I would be disappointed. That would be like, that's where, like, I was confused. Just like, I mean, I'm attached. Is it like, the concept very much means like, should be very neutral, not attached and not detached to anything, or
no, towards material things.
Yeah, I got
towards
that.
material things. For spiritual things, definitely attached, Prabhuji. It says, someone was saying, Bhagavad Gita is not a book of detachment. Bhagavad Gita actually is a book of attachment.
Okay.
You say, what? Bhagavad Gita is a book of attachment? Yes, attachment to Krishna. And when you're attached to Krishna, detachment will automatically happen. Many times people are just trying to get detached. Vishwamitra Muni, again, same example. He was trying to get detached. Very severe tapasya he did. Menaka came, all detachment finished. 10,000 years of tapasya finished in one moment. Huh? So one Mata came and all the detachment was finished. But if you see Haridas Thakur, one Mata came and he says that Mataji was Maya personified. She was so beautiful, so attractive. But when she came, what happened to Haridas Thakur? Anyone can say? That Mata came to Haridas Thakur. So one Mata came to Vishwamitra Muni, one Mata came to Haridas Thakur. What's the difference? Sanjay Vyas Prabhu. Anyone?
That Mataji became a devotee.
That Mata became a devotee. She was also very attractive. She could make Haridas Thakur fall down in 2 seconds. But Haridas Thakur, instead of falling down, he uplifted that mother. That is the power of a devotee. Vishwamitra Muni did not uplift Menika. Chalo, you also start the pasya with me. But this Mata, Lakshagira, she also started chanting 300,000 names of Krishna every day, just by associating with Haridas Thakur in a bad way. She had a very bad intention. She was sent, she was given money, she was sent to make him fall down. She had very bad intention. By profession, she was prostitute. When she came, she had bad intention. Everything was bad. Haridas Thakur said, just wait. Just wait. I will surely fulfill your desire. Just wait. 1 night, 2 nights, 3, only 3 nights of association. Haridas Thakur uplifted that as good as himself. Not just like, okay, I'll stop eating meat, Maharaj, from tomorrow. I'll not touch alcohol. Not like that. He got uplifted as good as Haridas Thakur. So when we're talking about devotional here, it's extremely pure, extremely powerful. But we're talking about detachment from the material world, can be very unstable, very, very unstable. But when you're attached to Krishna, then these material world feel like you have, $10 trillion in your pocket and you lose $1. Who cares? Who cares? I have $10 trillion in my bank account. So when you have Krishna, you lose something, you gain something. It's so insignificant. You got Nobel Prize. Okay, fine. You lost all your sampatti. Okay, fine. No worries, Maro bhi rakho bhi jo ichha tumhar. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, so whatever Krishna you desire. But if you're just in a material consciousness, gaining something can be very, I'm so popular now. I have 150,000 followers, Harikopal Prabhu, do you know? I have 150,000 followers. And Harigopal Prabhu was saying, no, I don't have any. Don't want any. Very insignificant, very insignificant. I may have 10 million followers. So what? What is the change in my soul's conditioning of that? If my soul's conditioning is changing towards good, very nice. Very nice. That popularity is very nice. But if my soul's conditioning is becoming thicker and thicker, very bad. Very bad. So the vision is very, very different. Choitra, does that help?
Yes.
Okay, let's move forward to next verse 35. Who wants to read? Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, you're next to me on the screen.
Jay Prabhuji, just the English, Prabhu?
Oh no, we are reading this verse, Prabhuji. So.
Shreyan swadharma veguna paradharma sunishthitat swadharme nidhanam shreya paradharmo bhayavaha. So word by word, Prabhuji?
No, just translation, Prabhu.
Yeah. It is far better to discharge one's prescribed activities, even though faultily, than another's duties perfectly. Destruction in the course of performing one's own duty is better than engaging in another's duties, for to follow another's path is dangerous.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Shreyan, who can translate the word Shreya? We have read it 100 times, I guess. Anyone?
What is good for one person?
Good for one? I like to eat, Prabhuji, 20 gulab jamuns. Is that Shreya?
What is good for one's spiritual life?
Spiritual life, okay.
Devotional.
You're very Shastri.
So what is good for long term?
Long term. Thank you, Ayush Prabhuji. Yeah? Long term. Spiritual life, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, definitely, but long term.
Yeah.
Again, suppose, Prabhu, I have already worked 14 hours in the temple. I'm being honest, right? My body is sort of saying no, but I'm still pushing. Spiritual life ke liye acha hai, right? No. My body may need to take rest after 14 hours of work because I am the body at the end of the day, right? So Sanjay Vyas Prabhu will say, Prabhu, abhi jao, ghar jao. Take rest, come back tomorrow. Amrit Prabhu, at least 6 hours of sleep. Come back tomorrow, finish your rounds, and you come back. Because, so long term. Shreya and Preya. So Preya is like, okay, I like 20 gulab jamuns, I like to serve Krishna more. Fine, but your body may fall down. In Janmashtami, some people do this Nirjala fasting, which you should do if you can. And one person fell down one day. We have to call ambulance, and so much thing happened in the temple. So actually, instead of help, it went other way, isn't it? And that person is very, very nice. Huh? So if your body cannot afford, maybe just drink water and serve rather than other way. Anyway, but his intentions were super nice. So Shreya refers to long-term benefits. So Krishna is talking about Arjun long-term. What Arjun's recommendation is, let me go and become a sannyasi, a beggar. I will beg. I don't want to fight. I don't want to kill my relatives. But Krishna is saying, Shreya, what is Shreya for you? Shreyan swadharma. Swadharma refers to swadharma, your own dharma, your own prescribed duties. Now here we are not talking about soul level here. We're talking about bodily prescribed duties. For Arjun, it is to fight. So saying, Shreya, it is better for you long term to be situated in your own dharma, which is Kshatriya dharma. Huh? Vigunaha, although you may find it filled with some faults. Now, there are some yagyas in Vedic culture, actually in Vedas prescribed, where a Brahman has to kill the animal. So there are yagyas like that. It's written in Vedic books. So some Brahman may find it very difficult. How I have to kill? Brahman is supposed to be merciful. Now, just for information, Brahmans are also of many, many types. Not every Brahman will do that. Some Purohits have to do that because to perform a yajna for your Yajman, you have to do that activity because Yajman is asking that. Like you're providing a Seva Amrit Prabhu and your Yajman, your employer will ask you to do something. You have to do it. So you have to choose your employer carefully. If your employer is Radha Gopinath, that's the best employer. Prabhupada, Radha Gopinath, best employers. Everyone else, we have to choose carefully. Huh? So, Shreyansa Dharmo Viguna. Viguna means Vigunaha. Gunaha refers to quality here. You can say Viguna means Vikrat quality. Vikrat quality refers to fault. So, although in following your duty, there may be some faults involved, but that is okay. Par dharmat swa anushchitat. Swa anushchitat refers to if you follow par dharma, another's dharma, perfectly. So instead of following others' dharma perfectly, like in this example of Arjun, becoming a sannyasi perfectly is not recommended. Rather, he's saying you be a Kshatriya, follow your duties of fighting, And even if you find it little uncomfortable, little difficult, this is fault to kill people, it is okay. Now, Kshatriyas are supposed to be violent, again for the right purpose, not for the wrong purpose, right? Kshatriyas are allowed to hunt. Some people ask why Dasharatha Maharaj was hunting. Dasharatha Maharaj was allowed to hunt. Hunting is an activity where Kshatriya tests his bow and arrow or other weaponry skills, because if he does not kill a live animal, if he's scared of blood, how is going to kill a live human on the battlefield? They have to practice. But Manusmriti also says there are consequences of that as well. So it's not free of consequences. Same example, Dasharatha Maharaj. Dasharatha Maharaj was killing, and again, this is under his dharma, this is not out of dharma, but one killing, he made a mistake. What was that, Priyamata? What killing he did a mistake? No? Okay. Who knows? Shravan Kumar. In that one killing, Shabd Bedivan, he could shoot, but he did a mistake, and the consequences was fatal. He died actually. Eventually, he died. So there are always consequences. Everyone is supposed to be vegetarian, but in Vedic culture also, so you can be a non-vegetarian, but there are consequences. So there are books and books. You'll read this, you can offer this and then eat goat and whatnot. But then eventually, Manusmriti says, it's better to be vegetarian. It's better to be non-violent. So these things are allowed with a caution, with a star, conditions apply. If you don't read the condition, yeah, non-veg, fine, alcohol, fine, hurting others, fine. No, it's fine under an umbrella. So if you're a Kshatriya fighting a dharmic war, you have to be violent. Prabhupada said, jail is, every city will have a jail, for example. I don't know Sydney has any jail or no. Okay, I guess there are jails here. So is it good?
हमारे घर के बगल में एक
अच्छा, आपके घर के बगल में तो प्रभु आपकी प्रीचिंग तो जाती होगी वहां पर. Anyway, is jail good or bad? It's bad place, but is it necessary? It is necessary, because there will be some antisocial element which will not listen to government rules, and they have to be sent there. So although jail is not a good place, but this is necessary evil of the society. Some people will be like that. So we are also like in the jail. Are we in the jail, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu? I am. Not sure about you. In the jail, Durga ji is all putting us in this jail. That's why it's called Durga, and she's the in charge, Durga. We are all in the jail of this material world, and we need to come out because we did not listen to the rules of Krishna. And we said, no, I don't want to live with you. I don't like you. I don't this and that. Krishna says, okay, you live separately, independently. You become Ishvara. So coming back to this verse, so if you are following your Kshatriya duty or your dharma properly, even if it has some faults, is better than to follow another's dharma for some time, for example, perfectly. So if we don't do this, imagine what will happen. Any policeman or any soldiers, when they go to the border, they will be scared of their gun. They will be scared, how can I, kill Pakistanis, Chinese? Commander in chief, I'm going. Sorry, soldiers वापस आ जाएंगे. हमारा क्या होगा? What will happen to the people of the country? If the border soldiers come back, they become compassionate. No, they have to be non-compassionate for the enemies. So for a right purpose, they have to shoot. They have to kill. So compassion is the quality of Brahman, not a Kshatriya. So Kshatriya have to be the one of the quality Krishna says in 1843 in Bhagavad Gita itself, say, Yudhecha apalayanam. They do not run away from the battlefield. If you run away from the battlefield, you are not a Kshatriya. It said, Yuddha bhumi mein peet nahi dikhana hai. If you show your back in the battlefield, you are not a Kshatriya. Manusmriti says two things. If you show your back in the battlefield, you are not Kshatriya, and you are not a Brahman if you are scared of taking bath in early morning with a cold water. Now, how many Brahmins are here? Raise your hand. Mahesh Prabhu is a Brahman. He is raising his hand.
Wrong timing, Prabhu. Sorry, wrong timing.
So Mahesh Prabhu, next time when he goes to Vrindavan in the month of January, 4 a.m. in the morning, you give him a cold water. Anyway, many people do it. Prabhupada used to do it actually before coming to US. One doctor advised him, don't take cold water bath. Then Prabhupada stopped. Prabhupada actually throughout his life, he took cold water bath. He never took warm or hot water. We are like hot water. Anyway, so the point here is there are certain rules and regulations. There are certain uncomforts. Prabhupada also gives the example If a lady is in India, for example, in villages, they don't have electricity. In May, June weather, it's very, very hot. She doesn't feel like cooking, but she has to cook for the family, with love, obviously, no force there. And she lovingly goes in that hot kitchen and takes uncomfort for the pleasure of family members. So in every performing duty, there will be some faults involved, but it does not mean we leave it. Otherwise, the whole society will not function. The people will keep switching. And I think Sanjay Vyas Prabhu's role is very nice, and he thinks my role is very nice. I only like his role till the time I go inside and start performing his role, isn't it? He's doing some seva in the temple. I'm like, his seva is nice. You go in a hospital, you go in a hospital, you say, my doctor gives me 5 pills every day. Look at the patient next to me. He only gets 1 pill a day. So what I will do next time, I'll switch my bed. I'll go there, so I only have to take 1 pill. Will it be good, Anand Krishna Prabhu, for me? He only gets 1 pill. That's all pink color pill. I get black color pill, 5 pills. I get 3 injections a day. Anand Krishna Prabhu, I will die. Because my prescription, my disease is different than what the person is having my next door. So I can't compare. And grass is always greener on the other side. When you look from the far, it look like India wale happy. India also say Australia wale happy. Australia also say America wale happy. America also say Europe wale happy. No one is happy. Ayush Prabhu thinks Amrit Prabhu is happy. Amrit Prabhu thinks Ayush Prabhu is happy. But they are both happy actually. Because they live in Radha Gopinath ashram. Now, they will also have some uncomfort, isn't it, Prabhuji? Don't mind, in your ashrama also, there will be some uncomfortable things there. But you tolerate for Shreya. Now, some brahmacharis may think, Grahastha to bahut sukhi hai. Pucho Grahasthas ko. How dukhi they are. Grahastha want to become brahmachari. Brahmachari want to become Grahastha. Grahastha want to take sannyas. Sannyas want to be a Grahastha. It's all khichdi. So Krishna is saying, just be where you are. And he says, grass is greener on the side where you water it. Water your grass. Don't try to change your grass. In Western culture, everything changes. Sofa purana ho gaya, change. Ghar purana, change. Gadi purani, change. In India, we repair everything. And that's very sustainable. You understand my point. I'm not talking about sofas here. Repair. Kaam chalana hai. In Western world, there's no concept of Aditya Prabhu, a repair. Change. And they change anything and everything n number of time. Are they happy? No one is happy. No one is happy. So, Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha. Although the faults will be there in ashrama, do not disrupt the society. Set up the right example. Keep performing your duties. Now, Swadharme Nidharam Shreya. Nidharam means marjana. If you're following your Swadharmas, if you see Swadharma is used twice here, Swadharma here, Swadharma here. So Arjun will say, okay, if I follow my Swadharma and die, Krishna said, no problem, Shreya. If you remember in 237, Hatova Prapsasi Swargam. Even if you die in this dharmic war, what will happen? Swarg milega. Or if you win this war, Bhokcha say Mahim. Mahim refers to Prithvi. If you win the war, you will become the king of the Prithvi. And if you die, what will happen? Go to Sargloka. So Swadharme Nidharam Shreya. By following your duties, if you die, it is Shreyaskar. It is very, very nice. Paradharmo Bhayavaha. By adopting another's duties can be very, very dangerous. So we understand the gist of the verse. So follow your duties, your ashramas perfectly as best as possible. Once a Prabhupada disciple went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, can you give me sannyas? Prabhupada said, why? My wife died, I did not cry. What did Prabhupada say? Go and get married again. If you cannot cry for your wife, how will you cry for others? So if you don't have emotions, you can't be a sannyasi. Sannyasi is full of emotions. Not mundane emotions, spiritual emotions. But you have to have some feelings. Someone said, my father died, I did not cry. If you don't have emotion for your father, for your family members, then how can you grow spiritually? A devotee's heart is very, very soft. He's soft-hearted. He's not a hard-hearted person. Bharat Maharaj saved the deer because he was soft-hearted. Saving the deer wasn't wrong. Keeping the deer was wrong. Saving the deer wasn't wrong. Someone is dying or you can do something about it. You should do. You must do. But keeping the deer and compromising in his devotional seva, that was wrong. That was wrong. The first step was devotee is always soft-hearted. Par dukhe dukhi. A devotee becomes dukhi even by seeing the dukkha of others. He becomes very, very. Prabhupada was par dukhe dukhi. Otherwise, why will he come to America? Why? What was there in America for Prabhupada? When he came here, he cried. He cried. What will happen to these people? They are just in mode of ignorance, tamas and rajas. And he's praying to Krishna, Krishna, why have you brought me here? You must have some reason. Otherwise, this is a Ugristan. Prabhupada called America as Ugristan. And Indians, die to go to America. Prabhupada says, Ugristan hai. Huh? Ugristan. So, paradharmo bhayabha. One more thing comes to my mind. Some Hindu organizations have taken the gist of Bhagavad Gita differently. So some Hindu organization I discussed last week in 333, Nigrah Kiram Prashyati. Some other Hindu organizations, especially in South India, they have taken this verse as the gist of Bhagavad Gita. They use this line, which is on your screen right now, Paradharma Bhayavaha, showing to Hindus which are getting converted to another religions. In South India, there's a lot of conversion happening. They are saying Paradharma Bhayavaha, Paradharma Bhayavaha. Now, although they are using it for the right purpose, I agree with that, but the context is completely wrong. Why? Because when Krishna said this 5,000 years ago, there was no Hindu, Muslim, or Isai. There was only one Sanatan Dharma. Hindu word, as you all know, only came few hundred years ago in the dictionary. So Krishna, when he's speaking this verse to Arjuna, he's talking in a very, very different context. He's talking about vrittis here. He's not talking about your Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, and all those things, right? So he's not talking about those things. So presenting this as a gist of Bhagavad Gita is actually very out of the context. Now, it may serve a purpose if those Hindus come back. They have better opportunity to go back to Godhead. That's a different story. But this is out of context. LIC in India, they have a byline. Anyone remembers that LIC byline? Yoga Shema Vahami Aham. They have taken that from Bhagavad Gita. Yog Shem. Now, LIC is not going to do any Yog Shem Vaham. They just take the premium. And if you die, your family members may get some money if you follow all the conditions and all those things. So, different people have taken different lines of Bhagavad Gita for their own purpose. But that is not the gist of Bhagavad Gita. What is the gist of Bhagavad Gita? Manmana mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskaru. Sardharmanuparati, 1865, 1866. They are the gist of Bhagavad Gita. You have to love Krishna. You have to give your mind to Krishna. Become the devotee of Krishna. Surrender to Krishna. Not that you become Hindu. Becoming Hindu is not a big deal. Hindus eating everything these days. Not everyone, but So becoming Hindu or although that's not the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. So please remember these things. Many things are misrepresented from Bhagavad Gita. They are from Bhagavad Gita. They are misrepresented. So be aware of those things. Mayadhish Prabhu, if it is a quick question, I'll take. Otherwise, I'll keep it for the end if that's okay.
We take it at the end, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay. Amrit Prabhu will do the same thing. Let's continue the thoughts. Let's try to stop a little early so we can take 336. Who wants to read? Who hasn't read yet? Yes,
I can read, Prabhu.
Okay, yeah, go for it, Aish Prabhu.
Arjuna vacha athakena prayukto yam papam charati purushaha anichannapi vashneya ballad eva niyojita. Translation. Arjuna said, O descendant of Vrishni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force?
Thank you, Prabhuji. I'll just open 335. Let's see the relationship between these two verses. Beautiful. So what's the message of 335 in one line, Aish Prabhu?
That it's better to do your own duties, even though imperfectly, than do someone else's duty perfectly.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Arjun is saying to Krishna, okay, I agree with you. Let me do my duties, right? So Arjun agrees with this concept of Krishna and saying, okay, I agree with you. So Arjun said, but Maharaj, Krishna, there is a problem. Right? So Maharaj giving a class, he said, Maharaj, I agree with you, but I have a question, right? Arjun also has a question. Arjun raised his hand like Mayadhish Prabhu, Amrit Prabhu. Prabhu, I have a question. So whatever you have said, I agree with that, but there's a question. Now, I don't know Amrit Prabhu, Mayadhish Prabhu agrees with me or disagrees with me. We'll find out later. But here, Arjun agrees with Krishna's proposal that Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha. Arjun agrees with that. But Krishna, there's a problem. What is the problem? Sometimes, what happens, Krishna? He's asking a very practical question, actually. Arjun is asking very, very good question. So in following my Swadharma, Arjun is saying to Krishna, in following my Swadharma, there's a problem. So Krishna asks, what is the problem, Arjuna? Athakena pariktoyam papam charati purushaha. Charati. Who knows the word charati? Charna. Difficult word. Gai charte hain. गाय चरती है, गाय क्या करती है केशव प्रभु?
गाय चरती है
हम भी
रोमिंग
चर
चरना है, चरण तो
हम भी
नहीं
चरते हैं। हाँ, आदित्य प्रभु हम चरते हैं कि नहीं? अभी
चरण गोविंद
पूरे दिन मुंह चलाते रहते हैं कि नहीं ये खाओ वो खाओ. Some people are very austere on this call. Some people eat 10 times in an hour. Sridhar Srinivas Prabhu, he only eats very very little. I do charna. Charna means constantly engaged. Grazing of the cows. Cows को जब घास मिलेगी क्या करे, खाने लगेगा. आदित्य प्रभु, sometime you go to the fridge and look for it. क्या रखा है? Mama, क्या रखा है? What can I take? No, there's bhoga. Okay. What's there in the dining table? This and that. So, charna, I'm referring to a simple example here, khana. But we also eat, I'm sorry to say, papam charati. You understand what Arjun is saying? हम पाप में चरते हैं, पाप खाते रहते हैं. आचार्य सब प्रभु, you agree with that? हम पाप खाते हैं,
कोशिश करते नहीं खाते, बट
कोशिश करते नहीं खाते, but डिफॉल्ट तो होता है ना.
डिफॉल्ट
डिफॉल्ट our senses and mind, where it goes, राजेश प्रभु? हाँ, पाप में कि कृष्ण में? Be honest.
पाप में प्रभु.
पाप में. चलो. I thought I'm the only one. So by default, that's the situation. We have to agree with that. Huh? Papam chariti purusha. So Arjun is asking the question. Not Arjun is pap, but for us, right? So by default, where do we go? Although we know Shastra many times, we know Shastra. What happened? Our vritti goes into vasana. It happens. Huh? देखा जाएगा. भगवद गीता का एग्जाम 3 महीने बाद है. आज तो इंडिया पाकिस्तान मैच. I'm not stopping you to watch, but I'm just, that's the example came to my mind. So atakena prayuktam. So what is that force? Anichan api Varshneya refers to Krishna. Hey Vrishni Vanshi. Anichan. Ichha refers to desire. Anichha, even if you don't want. Again, a simple example. An alcoholic have taken a vow, or a cigarette smoker have taken a vow. I will never smoke. I will never drink. And Hari Gopal Prabhu, he sees another bottle of alcohol. He passes through a bar. He is going on Harinam. He looks, people are coming out of bar. What does he think? अंदर मजा आ रहा है, अंदर मजा आ रहा है. क्या हम लोग हरि नाम कर रहे हैं? Or he smells something which we hate to see. One Mata was telling me, she became vegetarian, she became a devotee, but she's saying, Prabhu, kabhi kabhi smell aata hai to I get tempted. I get tempted. She was in the beginning stage, obviously, and later on, obviously, we hate that smell. But she was honest. She was said that's fine. Just keep following, keep following. There's nothing much to do here. Keep following the right thing. Keep doing the right thing. It will happen. It will disappear one day. So, anichanapi vashneya. Desire nahi hai. I don't have that desire to do the papa. But still, balad eva, as if. Eva refers to as if. And Amrit Prabhu, EVA refers to?
Certainly.
Certainly. Thank you. Or IVA, as if. So, balad, as if someone is forcing me to get engaged into papa. Ram Santosh Prabhu, is it clear? Sometimes it happens.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, sometimes it happens. Even if you don't want it, your mind at least goes in pap. As if someone is forcing you. It happens with me. I'm not sure about you all. Someone is forcing you. What is that force, Krishna? So you understand the question? Or Krishna, I agree. Swadharma, I need to follow. Even their faults, that's fine. But Krishna, while following Swadharma, I get inclined towards doing papa, although it's anichan. Anichan refers to, although I do not desire, I'm not trying to hurt someone. But as if some force coming from inside, and baladiva is sort of forcing me to do that activity. This is a question of Arjuna. No, this is not the question of Arjuna. This is a question of conditioned jiva like you and me. This is a question for all of us. It is a question for sadhaka. And this is such a perfect question, and Krishna will spend quite a few verses in answering this question because this is so important. Now let's analyze this question. Does it valid only for devotees or outside as well? So we're looking outside world as well. Everywhere, as Hari Gopal Prabhu said, everyone feels, forget they consider God or they don't consider God, there is a force inside them which sort of engages them. I heard a pastime in a class somewhere that one person went for jail preaching. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu wasn't there, but yeah, one person went for jail preaching, and in jail he saw 3 people. They were having tilak actually. They were prisoners. They were sitting there. So they were having kanthi mala. They were having tilak on their head. So the speaker asked, "Are you a devotee?" And they said yes. He said, how did you end up in the jail? He said, sorry, we could not control on our anger. Someone was criticizing Krishna a lot, blaspheming Krishna a lot, and we tried to convince him through our words. He could not get convinced. Then we killed him. So 3 devotees killed one person because he was blaspheming, criticizing Krishna a lot. And he said, they said, later on we realized that anger wasn't good. So they accepted, they could not control their anger, and they end up in the jail actually. 3 of them together, they killed one person. So Balad ibn Yojita. So they didn't want to hurt that person, and they said, we tried to convince him through our words, but this person did not listen. Now, don't try it out. I'm not giving a message here. I'm giving a message in a negative way, like it happens with everyone, even with devotees. Sometimes they say something, they do something, which later on they repent. So he's asking, what is that force, Krishna, which comes inside and sort of forces me to do that? So it says the modes of material nature, they can impel you, but they cannot compel you. It does not. Suppose you don't want to eat pizza, so it will not happen that pizza will walk out of Hari Gopal's Prabhu's fridge and come on his table, sit there right in front, and he say, eat me, open the mouth. Pizza cannot do that. What Hari Gopal Prabhu has to do? Go to the kitchen, go to the fridge, open the fridge, put the pizza in the microwave, put in the plate, and eat it. Now, doctor has said, don't eat it, but he will eat. But who is eating? Hari Gopal Prabhu eating pizza, or pizza eating Hari Gopal Prabhu? Sorry, Prabhu, I'm giving your example.
Hari Gopal is eating pizza.
Hari Gopal Prabhuji is eating, right? So many times we are not involved in pap. Like pap is not coming to us. The alcohol bottle is not coming to us. Alcoholic is going to the alcohol bottle. Is it right? Because alcoholic cannot resist the temptation of drinking alcohol, for example. Although doctor may have said, Prabhuji, no alcohol, not Prabhuji say, person, no alcohol, you'll die if you drink more alcohol. But he said, yes, yes, never, never, never. But one night will come and he like, no, no, I can't live without it. And he will go and buy and drink. So there is balad in niyojitaha. But if we have enough control in our mind, can we come out of that? If you have enough determination? Is it possible? Yes. So now Krishna will talk about the solution. This is the problem. Let's look at the solution. Who will read this very famous verse? Srinivas Prabhu is ready?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kamesha Krodesha Rajo Guna Samudbhavaha Mahashano Mahapapam Vediyenam Iha Vairinam. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born of contact with the material mode of passion and later transforms into war, and which is all devouring sinful enemy of this world.
Thank you, Prabhu. So now Sri Bhagavan is responding, what is that bala inside the person which impels him to do the wrong acts? Kama Esha, one word answer Krishna gave, lust. Now, lust does not necessarily has to be like opposite gender attraction. Lust can be for anything. Lust means kam. Kam means kamna, desire. When Maharaj was saying, you can be lusty for a pakoda, which is not offered to Krishna. This is a bhoga, is to be offered to Krishna. Then you can have that pakoda. But if you want to enjoy that pakoda, that peanuts, whatever it is, without offering to Krishna, actually you're lusty for the peanut, lusty for the pakoda. So lust can be from very small desire, you're enjoying without Krishna, basically, that peanut or pakoda, and can end up in male-female attraction. So kama esha, what is that, Arjuna? It is kam, it is lust. And when it is unfulfilled, what happens? Krodhat bhavati sammoha. So when kama, your lust is not fulfilled, someone stops you to eat peanut, Prabhu, you are obstructing my enjoyment. And I become upset at you because other Prabhu said, Prabhu, it's a bhoga. And you say, Prabhu, who cares? No, Prabhu, you have to offer it to Krishna. No, Prabhu, I want to eat it right now. No, Prabhuji, you have to offer. You become angry at the Prabhu. Kama esha, krodha esha. Now, where does it come from? Where does come from? Rajo Guna Samudbhava. When we come in contact with Rajo Guna means mode of passion. So when you come in contact with mode of passion, and the contact may not be external, it can be internal, isn't it? Contact may be external. For example, you go out in the city, you see a billboard. Some provocative billboards are there, and you get some desire. That's one way of provocation. Another way of provocation is you're sitting in temple and your mind goes out in a nightclub. Does it happen? Nightclub means movies, nightclub, whatever, right? So this is called internal stimuli. So internal stimuli, external stimuli, both can result your mind being dragged away. Is it okay? So it can be external, it can be internal. Sometimes even within devotee association, you feel like Kala Krishna Das, he was in the association of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was having association with a gypsy woman, for example. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Hey Bhagwan, get out." Later on, not right at that spot. Later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "I can't have this." Haridas Thakur, Chota Haridas Thakur, I mean, Chota Haridas Thakur, he committed suicide. Some Rajogun came from somewhere. Where it's coming from? Samudbha. If you get in contact with Rajogun, again, external or internal, every one of us has been exposed to different degrees of lust. Every one of us. When? In every single birth. Amagya Prabhu was giving class. What are the 4 regs? No eating meat, no intoxication, no illicit sex, and what's the 4th one? Ram Santosh Prabhu.
No intoxication.
Did I say that?
Yes, no gambling.
No gambling. Thank you. Suppose you're in a species of bird, Anand Krishna Prabhu. Will you do intoxication? Any birds intoxicate? At least I have not seen. दारू पी के नाली में पड़े हुए हैं. No birds intoxicate. Any birds gamble, Sushant Prabhu? You aware of it? Going to Star Casino in Sydney. $10,000 bet. No birds goes there. Eating meat? Okay, not sure. Maybe some birds are vegetarian. But birds do reproduction? Yes or no? Ayush Prabhu.
Yes, bro.
What about an insect? Insect may not gamble, intoxicate, may not eat meat, but will he do reproduction?
Yes.
Every single species does reproduction. So the sanskar, the impressions of reproduction, of mating, are the deepest, and that's why they take longest to go. You agree? Quitting alcohol is not such a big deal. I don't have that experience, but for some people it can be difficult. But some people they just leave. Leaving meat is no big deal. Leaving gambling is no big deal. But leaving the 4th one sometimes become very, very difficult. Why? Because the impressions are extremely deep, very, very deep. And deeper the impression, the harder it is to quit that propensity. So Krishna is saying, Rajo Gun Samudbhaha. This comes from Rajo Gun. When we come in contact with Rajo Guna, mode of passion, it brings kama. And again, the degrees will vary. So some people can become lusty very quickly. Some people may become lusty after a long time, for example. I'm talking Haridas Thakur, he did not become lusty at all. Vishwamitra Muni, after little trial, maybe one movie song, Menaka would have done, I don't know, 5-minute movie song, Hare Krishna. Nar Narayan Rishi, Indra is bringing Apsaras. Nar Narayan Rishi, no problem. Oh, you're bringing Apsaras to distract me? I will give you Apsara. Nar Narayan gave Apsaras. What? Your Apsara. And the Apsaras which Indra God, they were hiding their face. Oh my God, we're looking so ugly in front of these Apsaras. So Nar Narayan Rishi Haridas Thakur. Nar Narayan is Lord himself. Lord himself, or the pure devotees of the Lord, they have no lust. But other people, depending. Lord Shiva, no lust, for example. But he got krodh. When Kama came to disturb Lord Shiva, he did not get lusty, but he got krodhi. But Narad said, no krodh and no Kama. But he got mohit, he got illusioned to the 3rd one. Anyway, so coming back, Rajogun Samadva, as soon as you come in contact with Rajogun, it may trigger your lust. What does it do? Maha Ashno. So Ashna refers to Ashnami Pretatmana, 926. Ashna means Grahan Karna, eating. Or Mahashno, they are big eaters. Prabhupada said, they are all devouring. They will devour you. Mahapapma, they are not just papma, they are not just pap, they are mahapapma, they are all devouring sinful. What they are? Very, very refers to enemy. So they are an enemy which will devour you. Here, devour you refers to devour your spiritual consciousness. So when you come in contact with mode of passion, that's why devotees try to avoid going to places where mode of passion is a lot. Although for preaching they go. One devotee asked Prabhupada, Prabhupada, can I go for preaching in nightclubs? Prabhupada said, yeah, go for it, but make sure you come back. So nightclub is a mode of goodness place, Sushant Prabhu? Or what is it?
No, Prabhu.
What mode it is in? Pure goodness?
No, Prabhu.
Which mode?
Uh,
Passion.
Passion, yes, Prabhu.
And ignorance.
Ignorance.
Daru is going on, illicit sex is going on, everything is going on, right? So Prabhupada said, you go there, make sure you come back. So if you cannot afford it, so don't go there. That place may not be suitable for you. So vidhi means to know. Enam, iha varinam, this is a very, he is all devouring. He will devour your simple propensity. It comes from Rajoguna. As soon as you associate with Rajoguna, it will come. And it is calm. And eventually it will come into Krodha. So this is what Krishna gave an introductory answer to Arjuna's question. Let's see what Krishna says next. This section is very beautiful, especially for all the sadhakas. So please read it carefully. Now he gives 3 different analogies to explain the degrees of lust in different living entities. Who wants to read this? Rajesh Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
You
go for
want
it.
Rajesh.
I said Rajesh Prabhu.
Sorry, sorry.
That's okay, that's okay.
You want to go, Ice Prabhu? Or?
Yes, Prabhu. No, Rajesh Prabhu, you go. Ice Prabhu has done.
धूमेन व्रियते वह्निर् यथा तरसो मलेन च यथोवेनावृतो गर्भस् तथा तेनेदम् आवृतम्. As fire is covered by smoke, as a mirror is covered by dust, or as the embryo is covered by the womb, the living entity is similarly covered by different degrees of this lust.
Thank you, Prabhu. So in this verse, Krishna is telling degrees of lust. So how thick or thin the lust can be. So he gives 3 examples. Dhuma. Dhuma, everyone knows, Dhuma refers to smoke. Dhuma. Avarte Vahnir. Vahnir refers to fire. So as you know, fire is always covered with some sort of a smoke is there. But that smoke layer on the fire is very, very thin. So this is compared to human consciousness. In human consciousness, the lust is generally speaking very easy to cut. Very, very easy to cut. If there's a nice devotee association, the person can become a devotee. Second example Krishna is giving, Adarsho Malain. Adarsha refers to mirror. Prabhupada writes here, Adarsha refers to mirror. Mirror can be covered with dust. This is compared to animal consciousness. Does animal become devotee? Very rare, isn't it? No, there are some animal devotees are there, but can you preach an animal like in our knowledge and make animal a devotee? Very, very difficult. You can feed some prasadam, but animal consciousness is considered bit thicker than the human consciousness of lust. So in humans, the layer of lust is very thin, is penetrable. But in animal consciousness, lust is thicker and very hard to penetrate. Third example, Krishna gives Ulbena. Ulbena refers to womb, avrataha. As a womb covered garbha. Garbha refers to the embryo. So the little child in the womb of the mother, the womb covering is very, very thick. Now this is compared to plant consciousness. So plants are almost, their consciousness is very, very little, right? When you hit an animal will react. When you hit a plant, does the plant react? Not that they don't feel anything because their consciousness is very, very low. So Krishna is saying that consciousness is thickest. Plant will take long time to become devotees. Again, we're not talking about Tulsi plants in Vrindavan and all those. Generally, we're talking 3 examples here. So the plant consciousness is very, very thick. It's almost impenetrable. You cannot penetrate. You cannot teach a plant to become a devotee. So 3 examples Krishna is giving for different degrees of lust. First is human consciousness, second is animal consciousness, and third is plant consciousness. Plant consciousness is the thickest, animal is thicker, and human consciousness, the layering of lust on human consciousness is actually quite thin. The message of this verse is for humans to become devotees are very, very easy. in comparison to animal becoming a devotee or plant becoming a devotee is almost impossible. Now, next verse Krishna will talk about the nature of this lust. Who will read? Some Matajis can read. I haven't heard.
May I read?
Please, anyone. Kajal Mata, go for it.
आवृतं ज्ञानमेतेन ज्ञानिनो नित्यवैरिणा कामरूपेण कौन्तेय दुष्पुरेणानलेने च.
This is analena. Anal mane fire.
Alene च. Thus, the living entity's pure consciousness becomes covered by his eternal enemy in the form of lust, which is never satisfied and which burns like fire.
Thank you, Mata. So I'll go back and just pick one word here. Okay, sorry, this is the previous verse, 337. Very word. You remember word very in 337? Now go to 339. Krishna is repeating. Yes, Prabhuji, it's the enemy. So, Nitya Varina. So he's talking about this enemy is Nitya Vari. Nitya Vari refers to, as we are talking about, in every single species, whether you are human, whether you are insect, you are a fish, or you are a bird, whatever you are, this lust is with you. Do you agree? That's what we're talking about. Every single species, 8.4 billion species are reproducing. Somehow or other, they are forwarding their legacies. So this is a Nitya Vairi. This is not just a Vairi of this birth. If Shashank Prabhu, I leave the body, with the lust go with me or no?
If you leave the body, will the
If I
lust
leave
go
the
with?
body, with the lust go with me or no?
No, bro.
No, Hari bol. The
Uh,
pure devotee.
yes, bro. Yes. Yes, it will go with you.
Unless you have become a pure devotee in this life, which is the target. Generally, if you leave the body, lust will also go with you, isn't it? Because you'll carry your mind, impressions of your mind. So saying, Abratam jnanam etena. So what does this lust cover? So we're talking about the covering of lust in the previous verse. Now this verse is talking about what does it cover? Jnanam abrat. Abrat refers to covering. So what does it cover? It covers the jnana. It covers the jnana of whom? Jnanino. Who is the Jnanino here, Ayush Prabhu? Soul. Soul is considered as Jnani. So Ayush Prabhu is a complete Jnani. Isn't it? Actually, we are all Jnanis. We are all Jnanis, but we are covered by lust, and that's why our Jnan is covered. Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is not something which is imposed from outside. It is already there. What are we doing, Amrit Prabhu? Uncovering it, isn't it? Are we bringing it made in New Zealand? Can you import 2 bottles of ketchup and 3 bottles of Hare Krishna consciousness? Drink 3 bottles and become Krishna conscious. We can't import from New Zealand or Australia or from America or from India. We can't import. It's already there in every single living entity. What are we doing? We are just uncovering. We are removing the dust which is covered. So this dust is of lust. Avartam jnana meten. So it covers our jnana. So Jnanino, every single living entity is a Jnani because Krishna is Nityadas, it's a Jnani. Krishna is Satchidanand, we are also Satchidanand. There's no doubt in that. So Sat and Chit exist in Krishna, eternity and knowledge. We are also eternity and knowledge exist in us. But our knowledge is covered, Avritam Jnanam. And Krishna's knowledge is not covered. Pure devotee's knowledge is not covered. Kama Rupen Konte. And what does it do? Dushpurenan alenacha. Analenacha. Dushpurenan refers to never to be satisfied. If you put the ghee into the fire, what will happen? Fire will burn more and more. Yayati Maharaj, I'm sure everyone knows the story in 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yayati Maharaj had 2 wives, Sharmishta and Devyani. Long story short, Shukracharya cursed Yati Maharaj. Yati Maharaj requested him back that your daughter, basically after the curse, he became very old. His senses will not work. So he said to Shukracharya, his own father-in-law, your daughter is still young. How will I satisfy her desires? Look at this, Yati Maharaj. Shukracharya said, okay, if someone exchanges his youthfulness with your old age, you can exchange it. So he went to his sons, and one of the 4th son, Puru Maharaj, he exchanged his youth with the old age of Yati Maharaj. So he became old, Yati Maharaj became very, very young. And he only writes this, it's in Bhagavatam, I'm not making anything up. He enjoyed with Devyani for 1000 years. And after 1000 years, he is writing prayers and he's saying, actually, I was thinking that I was enjoying the sense pleasures, but sense pleasures were enjoying me. I was not doing bhoga. Bhoga was actually consuming me. And there is no sukha in the association of opposite gender. And then he became Virakta. He returned the youthfulness of him to Puru Maharaj, and he became old person, and he went back to Godhead. And eventually Devyani also went back to Godhead. The point he is writing, no matter how much bhoga you consume, you will never be satisfied. So if Yati Maharaj is not able to get satisfaction, Devhuti Mata is not able to get satisfaction, do you think we and you will become satisfied with this 2-bedroom apartment, getting some, $150,000 job, getting 1 or 2 cars, some investment property? Anand Prabhu, what is your suggestion? Will you get satisfied?
Never, Prabhu. It's
Never.
an unsatisfiable.
Young people on this call, if you're thinking, just if I get, this one job, if I get this one person, if I get this one position, I'll be happy. Believe me, if it is without Krishna, you will never be happy. Even in Hindi pictures, it says, actually, it's not Bhagavad Gita message, or Bhagavad Gita message followed. In Hindi film also, there's a song, I'm trying to remember, Savan jo aag lagaye, use kaun bujhaye. So this aag comes everywhere. So Bollywood actually is coming from Krishna. It's written in Bhagavad Gita. Analain is fire. So even Bollywood and Hollywood accepts this aag can never be satisfied. So don't try to put ghee in this fire. It will never be satisfied. The only way you can satisfy it by converting lust into love. And this is the message of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, let's look verse 40. Where does this enemy live? So now 2 verses Krishna has used the word very, very, nitya very. So now you have to know, to kill enemy, you have to know the enemy. Where does it sit? Apeksha Mata, would you like to read verse 40? Hare Krishna Mata.
Indriyani manobuddhir ashyadhisthanam uchyate etirvimohayati esa jnanam avritya dehinam. The senses, the mind, and the intelligence are the sitting places of this lust. Through them, lust covers the real knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him.
Thank you, Mataji. I'll just open 339. Look at the similarity between 339 and 40. So in 339, what is saying? Avartam Jnanam. So what does it cover? What does the lust cover? Your Jnana. So it does not cover your money, bank account, password, and this and that. It covers your Jnana, just the root. It covers the root. Everything else is taken care of, right? So Avartam Jnanam. Let's look at verse 40. So Etar Vimodhi Jnanam Avratta Dehinam. So twice, if any message repeated twice, that means very, very important. Thrice is more important, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam. So this very, very, very important message. Kalau Nastev, 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 Kutaranta. Very, very, twice repeated. Now here's saying Jnanam Avratte, verse 40, Avartam Jnanam. So we have to remember what this lust is covering our own Krishna consciousness. So it's not covering anything else. So it sabotages us. Whenever we see any sort of tempting objects or tempting those sort of things, then what happens? It covers our knowledge and we think, let's enjoy. Now in our Upanishads, there's a Athato Brahma Jigyasa, as you've heard. The first sutra of Upanishad is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. But actually for a living entity, conditioned living entity, what's the first sutra? Athato Indriya Tripti Jigyasa. Isn't it? Where I'm going to do Indriya Tripti. By default, I'm talking. By default, what happens? Where does our mind go? Sushant Prabhu, jada hai, kaun uthega Mangala Aarti ke liye? Who's going to get up for Mangala Aarti? Ayush Prabhu ko jane do. He's a devotee. Rajai od ke so aaram se. Khana hai. Yes, Prabhu. Can we stop? Yesterday, Yes, Prabhu gave me some nice prasad. I was filled at a certain level, but then I like, or and yes, Prabhu very kindly serving me. So we all know this happens with all of us, right? So athato indriya trapti jigyasa. This is our situation at the moment. When can we engage in sense gratification? Now we are trying to win over that tendency, but this is the default situation of it. Krishna is talking about avatam jnanam. It covers our jnana. So how will we fight this enemy? So to fight an enemy, Sanjay Vyas, what do you have to know? Who is your enemy? Where does the enemy live? And what's the strength of the enemy? Isn't it? Unless you know these three things, can you go and shoot your enemy? Anyone? Without knowing this, Sulekha Mata, can you shoot an enemy who you doesn't know who's your enemy, where does he lives, and what's his strength? So we have to know these three things. So who's your enemy? Who can answer? Salan Prabhu. I can see Prabhupada for
Indriya.
Yes, Prabhu.
Indriya are the Salan Prabhu. Sorry.
Our
Would
mind
like
and
to
senses,
take your
Prabhu.
darshan, Prabhu. I am taking darshan of Prabhupada, which is good. Yes, now I can see Salan Prabhu, smiling face. Yes, Prabhu. Who is the enemy?
Our mind and senses, Prabhu.
Mind and senses. Okay, more specific. Kama. Lust is the enemy. Now they will cover mind, but you know the enemy is not mind. Mind is not enemy. Sannyasi also has mind. Sannyasi has intelligence. Sannyasi has senses. Lust is the enemy. But for a sannyasi or a realized soul, the lust is not able to cover their jnana. For a conditioned soul, Acharya Mr. Prabhu, it is able to cover our jnana. Is it happens? Huh? Now, sometimes it will be able to cover, sometimes it will not be able to cover. That's a different story. So let's see. Second question is, what is the strength of the enemy? Anyone knows the strength of enemy? Ram Santosh? Which verse? Strength of the enemy. Which verse?
Not sure, Prabhu.
Not sure. Who can say? Verse. I need the verse. Aish Prabhu, verse. Tell me the verse.
Kamesha Krodesha?
That is the root, Prabhu. That is the enemy. I said that's the enemy. Kamesh Krodesha. What's the strength of the enemy? Amrit Prabhu, kitna balwan hai?
Indriyani Parani Ahur. The
No.
342.
No. 3 degrees of lust. Your enemy in your human consciousness is actually very thin. It's penetrable. You can actually kill him.
Is it verse 38?
3 degrees of lust is being described, right? What's that verse 38, Prabhu? Sanjay Vyas Prabhu? 38 or? Huh?
Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha?
No, Prabhu. Well, here in this
338.
338. Because you're humans, your covering of lust actually is very, very thin. So is your enemy very strong, Shobit Prabhu?
Yes,
actually, it's not. Yes, but actually it's not. Relatively, we are talking relatively. For a plant to become a devotee for any, it's very, very almost impossible. But our enemy actually is thin. Dhume na vrete agnir. Okay. So Avartam Jnanam. So it has covered. Sorry, we are doing 40th, right? We are doing 40 or 41. Okay, so now we have to know where does the enemy reside, isn't it? Pakistan, China, Bangladesh, everywhere. So what are the 3 places of this lust sitting, Ram Santosh Prabhu? Indriyani, senses. First, number 1, Mano, your mind, and Buddhi, your intelligence. Lust sits at which place, Ram Santosh Prabhu?
Indriyani, Mano, Buddhi, so in senses, mind, intelligence.
Thank you. So now we know where does the enemy sits. What's the covering of what's the strength of the enemy, and who is the enemy? Asya adhishthanam. Adhishthan refers to sit. वहां पर रहते हैं वो लोग. They're living. Samp lives in a hole, for example. And lust lives indriyani manobuddhir. What does it do while sitting there? Etar vimohayati. So moha refers to anyone? Illusion. And vimoha refers to, who can say? Vishesh moha, complete illusion. Vimohyati, it completely dilutes the living entity. Jnanam abrata dehinam, it covers the knowledge of the dehi. Dehi means soul. So for the soul, it lives in 3 places and it covers the jnana and it bewilders the soul. So covers the knowledge of the living entity and bewilders him. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, is it okay if I take it little later? Yeah. We have 3 people. I've not forgotten. 341. Who will read? Who hasn't read today? Jaldi.
Go again.
Please.
Tasmatvam indriyani alo niyama bharata sabha papmanam prajahi enam jnana vijnana nashanam. Translation. Therefore, O Arjuna, best of the Bharatas, in the very beginning curb this great symbol of sin, lust, by regulating the senses, and slay
the destroyer of knowledge and self-realization.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So Tasmat, what does Tasmat represent? Ghanshyam Prabhu came the other day and he was talking about Tasmat. What does Tasmat refers to? Anyone?
Therefore.
Therefore.
Yeah, so it's a message given, do this, Tasmat, therefore. So given a principle earlier, now therefore, what you should do. So 41, 42, 43 will talk about controlling the lust. So very, very important verses. Tasmat, therefore, tvam indriyan adav. Adav refers to in the very, very beginning. Very, very beginning. What you should do in the very, very beginning? Niyamya. Niyamya means regulate. What? Indriyani. Regulate your senses. We're not talking about mind as yet. We're talking about regulating the senses. Sanjay Vyas Prabhu, for example, we're talking engage your senses no matter where the mind is going. Engage your senses as per the instruction. So initially, Adav Indriyani Niyamya Bhartar Shabha. So Rishabha refers to bull. So he's saying you are bull amongst Bharata. It's a positive connotation Krishna is giving to Arjuna. So Arjun, you are like a bull. Bull means you are very, very powerful. But your power will be estimated not only how many Duryodhana and Karnas you will kill. Your power will be estimated how you're going to control your lust. Now again, it's a Krishna's message to all of us, not to Arjuna. Arjuna was fully controlled. Any example anyone remember? Arjuna was fully controlled. He went to Swargloka and Urvashi offered. Urvashi, the best woman of the whole world, offered him a green card. Come on, enjoy. Arjun said, no, mother, I cannot. No, why, mother? Mothers are there on earth. You are in the Swargloka. She given the loophole as well. You are a human on the Swargloka. Now enjoy. You are in America. American rules apply. He said, no, no, I'm from India. I'm from Bhumi. I'm a Manava. Manav rule applies on me. You're like my mother. Urvashi got so angry. She gave curse. Imagine if someone was getting cursed. You say, excuse me. Acha, theek hai. You are giving me curse, huh? Arjun said, no problem, mother. You can give me curse. This was Arjun, fully controlled person. So we have to understand Arjun. This is us. We all. So we have to become not only externally 6-pack or 8-pack. Amrit Prabhu, kitne pack hote hain? I don't know any pack. Anyway, there's some 6 or 8, something, whatever the highest number is. What's his name? Hrithik
I
Roshan.
think 8 packs.
8 packs? hrithik Roshan 8 pack है? क्या बात है?
6 pack जनरल होता है प्रभु
जनरल
आजकल
होता
8
है. संजय व्यास प्रभु हमारा तो फैमिली पैक है. बिग टबी. मोटा वाला. Anyway, 6, 8, 12, whatever it is, I don't know. I'm 0-pack person. So that's not the only criteria to judge how strong you are. The real criteria to judge, as Radhanath Maharaj says, when the provoking situation comes, when the temptation comes, can you control yourself? That's the real criteria for a devotee. So if you can control, then you are a devotee. So when your mind says inside, I'm not interested in this, not that looking for an opportunity. Chaitanya Prabhu was saying in a lecture, when a temptation comes, a neophyte will say, just wait, just wait. अभी अच्छा टाइम नहीं है. After 1 hour or after 1 week or after 2 weeks, अभी पुरुषोत्तम मास चल रहा है. After that, अभी दामोदर मास चल रहा है. अभी गुरु महाराज यहाँ पर हैं. After that, he will say, wait. An advanced devotee will say, get out. So are we neophyte or advanced? Amrit Prabhu is advanced devotee. We should become. Get out from here. You have no space in my life. I am being sold to Krishna. Now we all struggle, but that's what the journey is about. So we have to become advanced devotee. Niyam Bhartashava. Pap manam prajahi enam jnana vigyan nashram. Because if you don't win over lust, what it will do? Jnana vigyan nashram. It will destroy your jnana. Jnana means achieved knowledge as well as vijnana. Vijnana refers to realized knowledge. I'll give you an example. 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Ajamil was a very, very good Brahman. If you read the qualities of Ajamil, you will faint. Honestly, you will faint. This is described by Yamdutas. There's 3 or 4 verses. There's like chapter 3, 50th or 49th verse. There are 4 verses given by Yamdutas for the qualities of Ajamil. You read it, all of devotees, you will faint. He was such a qualified Brahman. If anyone would have told Ajamil before he fell down, after 1 week, you're going to live with a prostitute, you're going to throw your wife out and parents out, he will never believe you. He will never believe. He was a very good Brahman. He was fully involved in his parents' seva, in Krishna's. He was involved. But he saw one scene and he fell down. So jnana and vijnana, and it's written in verses. He tried to control his mind with whatever scriptural study he had done. It's written, but he could not control. So don't think Ajamil was Ajamil. I am this. I belong to Radha Gopinath. Yes, you belong to Radha Gopinath. This is very, very nice. But how strong we are, don't know. Don't know, huh? So don't be overconfident. Don't be overconfident ever. Prabhupada said, I have two problems with my disciples. One, they are not reading my books properly. One of the complaints Prabhupada had. In general, I'm saying. The second problem Prabhupada said I have with my disciples, they are not scared enough of Maya. They are too overconfident. And many fell down and burnt. Many fell down and burnt. So we have to be very, 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 very careful. When we have to be careful? When we are in the temple? No, we don't have to be careful. We have to be careful in the temple. But main thing, we have to be careful when we are outside the temple. Radhanath Maharaj said one definition of Krishna consciousness is, one definition again, can be many more. When you are conscious of Krishna, when in the absence of Krishna. You're conscious of Krishna in absence of Krishna. Absence of Krishna here refers to when there are no deities, no devotees, and no Hare Krishna mantra going on. Are you still Krishna conscious? Keshav Maharaj says, there's one public life, there's one personal life, and there's a private life. Public life means public means Hare Krishna, how are you? I'm a devotee, how you are also a devotee? Huh? Personal life, family में लड़ाई झगड़ा थोड़ा सा चलता है. Everyone will be praising husband and wife will say, I know him, घर आने दो. I know what my husband is, or husband thinks about the wife similar way, huh? There's a personal life, and there is a private life when no family, no one is with you, and then you are alone with you, huh? And with your computer. This is called private life, huh? So for a sannyasi or a sadhu or a devotee, public, personal, private is all the same. But for a non-devotee, they're all different. And for a devotee, they're trying to harmonize, trying to harmonize all of them. Difficult. Huh? But a sadhu, my Guru Maharaj wrote a book, there's a sannyasi, so he wrote a book, Public Hermitage. Huh? Public hermit. Public hermit. So he said, I'm a public servant. There's no privacy for a sadhu. One time I said, you're very tired, close the room, take some rest. He said, no. I'm a sannyasi. If anyone comes, I need to serve him. He's super tired. He worked so hard. I'm like, can you please take rest, close the door, and I'll put a note on the door. No one knocks you. He said, no, I'm a sannyasi. If anyone comes here, I need to serve him. This is a sadhu. This is a sadhu. Huh? After 12 hours of hard work, he is sick. He's saying, no, don't close the door. It's okay. If someone comes to me, I need to serve that person. And we are like, we don't attend the phone, we don't answer our WhatsApp messages. Close. Jane do, kar lenge, khud kar lenge. They will sort out themselves, huh? So a sadhu is like, I'm a public servant, I need to serve. Okay, so Gyan Vigyan Nashanam. So what you have to do, the message of this verse is niyamya. What you have to niyamya? Restrain your senses. When? Adav. If it is too late, then you cannot. Okay, let's go to the verse 42. Who would try to read the second last verse? Preeti Mata? Sorry. Sushant Prabhu, go for it.
Here, Prabhu. Indriyani paranahur indriya bhaya paramana manastu para buddhir yo buddhe paratastu sa. The working senses are superior to the dull matter. Mind is higher than the senses. Intelligence is still higher than the mind. And the soul is even higher than the intelligence.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So now in this verse, Krishna is talking about the hierarchy. So we are saying, okay, lust sits in three places. Go 41. Just repeating the verse. Sorry, 40. So in 40, you remember there are three places given. Indriyani, Mano, Buddhi. So remember these three places, lust is sitting. So Krishna is saying, not all the three places are equally powerful. There's a hierarchy. Huh? So if the enemy is sitting on a lower position where you can hit it nicely, isn't it easy to hit the enemy? Right? So, Indriyani Manobuddhi. Let's see the hierarchy. This is in verse 42. Indriyani Parani Ahur. So, Indriya, which is senses, are Parani, are higher than the dull matter. As we're taking the example of pizza in Hari Gopal Prabhu. So, pizza does not come to Hari Gopal Prabhu. Hari Gopal Prabhu goes to pizza. Is it right? So, pizza is a dead matter. So, pizza does not come. Alcohol bottle does not come. Cigarette does not come to the person. Person goes. So, senses get dragged. Which is happening. Indriyebhya param mana. And who is higher than Indriya? Manaha, mind. Because mind takes the पिज्जा कहाँ है यश प्रभु? फ्रिज में रखा है. हाँ, चलो फ्रिज में जाएंगे, पिज्जा ढूंढेंगे. हाँ, but मम्मी ने छुपा के रख दिया है. So our mind says pizza is in the fridge. Let's go to the fridge and take the pizza. Although Mama has said it for the younger brother, but Yash Prabhu very intelligently will go there and find the pizza, isn't it? I'm just taking Yash Prabhu example. He's a very nice devotee. Manasastu para buddhir. Who is higher than mana? Buddhir. Buddhi will say, no, actually that pizza, I have already taken my piece. That pizza is being saved for Sanjay Vyas Prabhu. Huh? My mama has saved one piece for Sanjay Vyas Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu already did two pieces. So his Buddhi will say, nahi, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu ke liye chhod dete hain. Who is highest here? Intelligence, isn't it? Although my mind is saying, I can go pick up the pizza, eat it. No one in the house. But my Buddhi will say, nahi, Sanjay Vyas Prabhu ji ghar aayenge, bhuke honge. What he is going to have, huh? So our buddhi should control our mind should control our senses. So you remember that analogy of a rath, of a chariot, where horses are the, who will say, just quickly, unmute yourself. Horses are the
Senses.
senses. Second, Prabhuji, Ayush Prabhu, second. Mind refers to, in that analogy?
Mind refers to the charioteer, one driving.
No, mind is the reins, Prabhuji, the rassi.
Or reins, yeah.
Huh? Between chariot driver and the ghoda is the rassi, is the reins. Huh? So rein refers mind. Third, Ayush Prabhu?
Intelligence is the charioteer.
Charioteer.
Body is the chariot, and piche wala is the
Passenger
passenger is the soul,
the
Atma.
soul. Thank you, Prabhuji. So if you remember that analogy, chariot driver should be controlling the reins and reins should be controlling the horses, isn't it? But what happens? The chariot driver is very, very weak. Intelligence is very, very weak. What will happen? Man jahan ja raha hai jaane do. Huh? Whatever you want to eat, you eat. However you want to sleep, you sleep. Wherever you want to go, do whatever. So what will happen? Will the soul, the passenger, reach to the destination, Ayush Prabhu?
No, bro.
Yeah, because the ghode and brains are everywhere. So the hierarchy should be intelligence, chariot driver control the reins, controls the mind, reins control the horses. Horses should always be controlled. But what happens, Ayush Prabhu, if the intelligence is corrupt, किसी ने उसको sabotage कर दिया है, घूस दे के खरीद लिया है, what will happen?
Pranashati.
प्रणश्यति. आप संस्कृति बोलते हैं, हिंदी तो बोलते ही नहीं. थैंक यू. प्रणश्यति, नाश हो जाएगा. ज्ञान विज्ञान नाशनम. So Krishna is saying that hierarchy should be maintained, and there is one more category hierarchy Krishna is giving. Yo buddhe paratastu saha. Saha here refers to soul. Prabhupada writes, he, bracket mein soul, is higher than the intelligence, because if the soul wasn't there, will your mind, intelligence, senses will be able to do anything in your body, Amrit Prabhu? Suppose the soul comes out of your body. What your body will be? A dead body. Your body has nothing. Your mind is there, senses, intelligence, everything is there, but it's waste. So without soul, because they are all matter, soul is only spirit. Because your mind, intelligence, senses are connected to the soul, that's why they can do something. So whatever they do, that should be for the benefit of soul or for the non-benefit of soul. That should be for the benefit of soul. So how do you benefit the soul? As per 341, what was the message? Anyone? What's the message of 341? Kajal Mata. 341. Indriyani ado niyamya. So in the very beginning, do a restrain of the senses. Restrain means your mind may be agitated. Senses should be restrained. And look at the last verse of this chapter. Is it okay if I spend another 5-7 minutes and finish this last verse? Yeah, okay. So last verse. Who wants to read last verse of this chapter and this year?
I will read, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mata.
Evam buddhe param buddhva samsta vyatmanam atmana jahi satru mahavao kama rupam durasadam. Translation. Thus, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty arm, Arjuna wants to steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength and conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust.
Thank you, Mataji. So now I'll start from the bottom. which is sort of a repetition of the previous verses. Kama Rupam Durasadam. Durasadam refers to Prabhupada's formidable, means very, very strong enemy. So Shobit Prabhu, when you said strong, it is strong. But what I was talking about is relationship. Relatively, it is less strong in other species. But yeah, it is also very, very strong. So Kama Rupam Durasadam, this Kama, this lust is actually very, very formidable. Jahi Shatru Mita. Shatru Mahabaho refers to Arjuna. Now let's look at the first two lines of this verse, which is a message by Krishna to control the lust. So what is the first message given by Krishna to control the lust? Anyone remembers? I just said it. Restrain your senses, isn't it? That's the first message given in 341. Second message given in 343. Evam buddhe param buddhva. So evam buddhe, from your buddhi. Param buddhva sanstabhya atmana. Atmanam Atmana. So Atmana, the first Atmana, Prabhupada writes, by deliberate intelligence. So look at these two. Sorry, the first Atmanam refers to mind. So first is mind and second is intelligence. So from your intelligence, intelligently, you have to control your mind. How you have to control your mind? So Krishna says, knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses. So if you're not considering the transcendental aspect, you cannot control for a long time. An example, as we have given Vishwamitra Muni. Vishwamitra Muni, externally, he was trying to control. But because he was not attached with the transcendental platform, which Haridas Thakur was, Haridas Thakur was attached to Krishna. He was on the transcendental platform. So he was not like trying to just control his senses as Vishwamitra Muni was trying to do. He was just trying to serve Krishna. So because he was situated on the transcendental platform, he could win over that which Vishwamitra Muni could not. Does this make sense? So first person is just trying on his own. Second person is trying to be attached with Krishna and then trying. Who will win the game? First person or the second person? Anyone?
Second person. Second person.
First person is trying to be attached with Krishna and then doing the job. Second person is not trying to be attached with Krishna, is just trying to control on his own.
First person. Who is attached to Krishna.
First person will win the game because Maya is formidable. It's very, very strong. So on our own, even Krishna accepts it in 7th chapter, we'll read about it, that winning over Maya is extremely difficult. So we cannot win over Maya just on our own efforts. It's just not possible because Maya is way too strong than us. No matter how determined we are and how controlled we are, how many years we have practiced celibacy, it will not work unless you are attached with Krishna. So Krishna is saying, Evam buddhe param buddha. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind, intelligence, O Almighty Aunt Arjuna, one should study the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, which Prabhupada writes as Krishna consciousness. So unless you situate yourself in Krishna consciousness, you cannot win over this Durasada, formidable enemy called lust. So two messages Krishna has given to control lust. So first he gave who is the enemy. In 337 he says lust is the enemy. Then he gave what is the degrees of lust, like how is strong your enemy is. So he gave three analogies. One is the human, one is the plant, one is the animal. And then he said, where does the lust reside? He says, Indriyani Mano Buddhir. Three places lust resides. Resides in senses, resides in the mind, and then also resides in the intelligence. Some people intelligently enjoy the lust, isn't it? They make a plan. Some serial rapists, and they intelligently make a plan to enjoy. So intelligence is involved, mind is involved, senses are definitely involved. So Krishna is saying two ways you can restrain from this lust. First is restrain your senses in the very, very beginning. As soon as it begins in that direction, you try to control. Bring your horses back as soon as they try to go away. If you don't bring the horses back in the beginning, if they wildly have gone 5 kilometers, then it will be very difficult for you to bring them back. And second is saying, most important, even the more important, the first one, Niyamya Bhartashabhas, more important that deliberate spiritual intent. Attach yourself with Krishna consciousness. Because if you are not attached alone, you will be weaker than Maya. Maya will be stronger than you. So these are the two messages Krishna is giving towards the end of this chapter. How to conquer lust. Okay, I'll stop here. I'll take the questions. I think Mayadhish Prabhu was the first one. We'll take the questions from him.
Hare Krishna, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Prabhu, you explained that there is vasana of different devotees and the psychophysical nature. So then there are four mainly, we said, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya,
So,
Shudra.
four psychophysical natures, Prabhuji, of
Yeah.
Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and
Vaishya,
Shudra.
Shudra.
Yeah, which is a
Now,
conditioned state of the soul.
right. Now, in this conditioned state, we are trying to be devotees as well.
Yeah.
So, is there a hierarchy between them as well to say like Brahmana devotee is better than Kshatriya devotee and things like that?
No, Prabhuji. Anyone can be a devotee. A sannyasi, just saying an example, may not be a devotee. A grihastha can be a better devotee. Possible. If you look at Mahajans, there's out of 12, there are 7 Mahajans are grihasthas. So there's no such thing called higher varna and lower varna. But for all practical reasons, Prabhupada said, in this movement, we are making brahmanas. What does it mean? Brahmanas means they read scriptures and they read, they apply, and then they give this knowledge out to the people so that they can also become devotees. But it's not to say a Shudra cannot go back to Godhead. Satyakam Jabli, for example, Satyakam Jabli, by birth, he was a Shudra. Mother was a prostitute. The child wanted to go to a Gurukul and study. He went to Guru Maharaj and he said, Guru Maharaj, can you please admit me? Guru Maharaj said, what's your Varna? He said, I don't know my Varna. He went back to the mother, where he my father. Mother, what's our Varna? Mother said, Beta, I'm a prostitute. You are born of which man? I don't know even. He went back and said the same thing to Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj said, you are a Brahman. Why? Because you're speaking the truth. Karna, at the same time, when he went to Parashuram, he lied. Parashuram had taken a vow that I will only teach Brahmins, not Kshatriyas. Karna was a Kshatriya, he knew about it, but he lied. And then Parashuram sort of cursed him. At the very most important battle of your life, you will forget all the knowledge. So there is no higher or lower, Prabhu. Anyone can be a pure devotee of Krishna and go back to Godhead. And Chaitanya Charitamrita Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami says, Yehi Krishna Tattva Veta Sei Bada Chatur. So one who knows Krishna, that is Chatur. Chatur means clever in a good sense. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Krishna is giving equal opportunity to every single soul, regardless of their varna and ashrama, to become a pure devotee. And that's what Prabhupada is also expanding on the same principles. Nice question, Prabhuji.
Sorry, and this one follow-up. Sorry, Prabhu.
Okay.
No, because the reason I asked is we tend to judge devotees. Like if someone's a Kshatriya, those qualities tend to be shown more, and we see those qualities more in that person.
But
And then, and for some reason, at least me, I'm just talking about me. I tend to be more attracted to Brahmana qualities, and not in me, but to see other devotees like being calm and gentle. And I feel they are more devotees than probably a Kshatriya person who's actually a devotee. But I'm just not realizing that. So is that wrong or?
Yes. So Prabhu, first thing first, we all get attracted towards like-minded people. That's true, right? If I'm an alcoholic, I'll be attracted to another alcoholic. So if you're a devotee of a particular kind, if you're a book distributor, for example, you're a kirtaniya, you will be attracted naturally towards the kirtaniya. Prabhu, how do you make this tune? Huh? Like, I don't play harmonium, you play very well. So you'll ask, say, Harsh Prabhu, oh, how did you play this tune? Isn't it? It's natural. So there's nothing wrong with that. So you like particular way of serving Krishna, you keep serving in that way. There's nothing wrong with that, Prabhuji. But we should not judge others as inferior. That is wrong. That is wrong. That this devotee washing dishes, he's not serving Krishna in a Brahminical mode, so he will not go back to Godhead. That judgment is wrong. The person who's washing the pot maybe will go faster than the person who's in the altar. Brahman in the Kabbalah story, we all know that. Huh? So when we judging others, when we want to associate with like-minded, that is perfectly fine. But when we judging others being a sort of inferior devotee, that is wrong. That is our condition of the mind, and we should be very careful. It may become Vaishnava Aparadha as well.
Sure, bro. Thank you, bro.
Okay, thank you. Sanjay Vyas, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Pro. I'll ask. So, Pro, I understand as per Bhagavad Gita, lust is a formidable enemy for someone who is trying to progress on the spiritual path. And then there is the other part as well, where we were studying on Friday, Yan Maithunadi Grahamedi Sukham Hitucham. And I was reflecting on that verse, and I was trying to connect to this study that we were doing. So Prahlad Maharaj is only 5 years old. he hasn't engaged in any sort of sex activity, but he's saying sukham hi tuchham, it is insignificant happiness. But someone who is engaged in it, for that person, it is sukham hi sukham. I mean, in this material world. I mean, so I was trying to connect. I was trying to think, meditate, how as a 5-year-old, and generally a 5-year-old has no idea what sex attraction is, let alone to say that happiness is insignificant. So I was thinking, is that intelligence revealed to him by hearing? And so
Prabhupada said in this connection, not everything in this material world you have to experience to know. Prabhupada gave the famous example, if there's a place where it's in 440 volt, will you touch, experience, and then give a report? You'll not be able to give the report itself. So not everything needs to be experienced and then you get the result. Some things can be learned by hearing, and that becomes a permanent impression, because Prahlad Maharaj is 5-year-old Prabhuji in his body, but if you see just before 5-year-old external body, he has been a disciple of Narad Muni for 60,000 years. So 60,000 years he has learned from his guru. So all these things have been revealed to him, realized by him, without even personally experiencing it. And it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Prabhupada said, if you are a brahmachari, you don't have to become a grahastha and vanaprastha. You can take sannyas if you are realized enough.
Yeah, and Professor, just a follow up on that one. So we study lust as a formidable enemy for spiritual progress, but a person who's meditating on sex desire, that person can potentially continue to meditate upon it, and they may not be able to focus on their spiritual duties and studies and so forth. They could just be, how can I say this?
That's why you have to listen to your Guru Maharaj and not listen to your mind. Gopal Krishna Maharaj said, if you listen to your mind, it will take you to hell. So just listen the instruction, execute it. Guru Maharaj says, listen, every Guru Maharaj, get up at 3 o'clock, you start chanting, take bath and start chanting. Now you're not thinking at 3 o'clock, oh, what my mind was thinking last night. 3 o'clock, time to go for Mangalarti, time to wear dhoti, kurta, tilak, take your bead bag, and keep doing. You don't even have time to think what your mind is thinking. That may be your default mindset today, but you see, after following the instruction, engaging your senses in Guru Maharaj Seva, Prabhupada Seva, devotee Seva, your mind will curb, your mind will come under control. But again, it's a long journey for some people. Because it's, again, as I said, Prabhuji, millions and trillions of lives impression are there. It's not going to happen overnight. For some people, it's possible because they have done their tapasya. Maybe there's their last birth, for example. They've struggled through this channel. Because what we see is a body, Prabhuji, a 20-year-old brahmachari, but you don't know this 20-year-old brahmachari have gone through so much struggle in past 200 lifetimes. Now this is his last birth. He is spontaneously attracted towards Krishna, and he has no attraction towards Maya, spontaneously. And you'll say, Prabhu, but I am so different in the same age group. But he has done 200 lifetimes of tapasya, for example, earlier. We may not have done it. So for us, follow the Guru's instruction as best as possible, and mind we'll see later.
Thank you.
There was one more hand. I forgot whose hand that was.
Shobit
Prabhuji.
Prabhu, I thank you, Prabhuji, for providing me
If
an
it is short, I
opportunity.
will take it today. Otherwise, I'll take it next week, Prabhuji, because 9:16, I would like to.
Yeah, Prabhu, that's fine. I had a question on Krodha Esha, because that verse mentioned Kama Esha, Krodha Esha. So is Krodha Esha also considered as part of lust? Because when we talk about lust as more material desires, would Krodha be separate from it?
No, it's not separate. It comes from Kam. Unfulfilled lust will get converted to Krodha. If someone comes in between you and you fulfilling your lust, you'll get angry at that person. In the morning, 4 o'clock, you're trying to sleep, and Sanjay Vyas Prabhu comes, chalo, Mangala Aarti jana hai. Nahi, sone do. Chalo, Mangala Aarti jana hai. Maybe not in your case, you're a nice devotee, but people become angry. I've seen it actually. Brahmacharis fighting in the morning at 3:30 a.m. in the ashram. One is saying to go, another is saying, I don't want to go. And they're fighting. And just one example, we all fight. I'm not saying they only fight. So you understand. He wants to sleep, another person is saying, Chalo Mangala and they will fight. Because his point is sleep is higher than Mangala So people fight, Prabhu, and I've heard in lectures as well.